Welcome, everybody. The YouTube is up, so while we wait on the music to play, you guys can sit back and enjoy the smooth sounds of my voice. Welcome to Brett's Kitchen. Welcome to Brett's Kitchen, episode 014 on a beautiful Wednesday, April 4th. What up, Brad?
What's up?
What up, Meg?
Hey, hey.
Say hello to the world. This is your second coming on the podcast, soon to be a permanent fixture. What do you think about that?
You brought me back. I came back.
She came back.
Things are working.
She came back.
It's the first minute.
Isn't it great to have Megan back in here?
It is.
Can you believe she came back?
She gives us that rationality that we so.
You know, I had
desperately
to go home and just be like, listen, you say things that are crazy. Your opinions are a little bit not researched, but okay, let's give it a shot.
That's what everybody loves, though.
Let's do it.
Okay, first off, we got to make sure that the three of us are on the same page.
Ooh.
Okay? My opinions are not opinionated.
There is.
My opinions are fact.
Are we laying the... Oh, are we getting into quotes? Like, are we laying the smack down?
No, we're not laying.
Oh.
We're not gonna lay the smack down on no candy asses just
I
yet.
did my research.
You did your research. I'm so proud of you, Megan. Tell our viewers what this week is.
WrestleMania 34.
WrestleMania 34. This is a religious holiday at the Bread household. Now, I'm being serious. Like I'm being dead serious right now. Like this is a religious holiday. Like you guys are lucky that I even come to class. Like for you to be in my presence on the jiu-jitsu mats during WrestleMania week is like I really should charge a double. I'm being so serious right now. Like I don't do anything at the house on WrestleMania week. Anything.
Don't you have the WWE network?
Yes.
Specifically.
That's what this is
for that reason.
Well, no. I mean, I don't miss a pay-per-view. I don't forget the pay-per-view.
Was it like $200 a month extra? Like, hey,
Look.
this 40 hours of content.
WrestleMania, WWE Network, $9.99. Get it.
A
Get
month?
it. Watch WrestleMania this week.
A day?
We need to be sponsored by them.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
By WWE?
Yeah,
We should be sponsored by them.
that's what I'm saying.
Listen, I could come on here and talk
Sponsor
wrestling.
us.
I could come on here and talk wrestling for 24 hours straight and never get on the jiu-jitsu mat. That's how much I love
The jiu-jitsu
WWE. I love WWE more than I love jiu-jitsu. I love jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
Like I literally eat,
Yeah.
sleep, and breathe jiu-jitsu.
not down that.
WWE, I eat, sleep, breathe, and I make love
Maybe even
to
resuscitate.
WWE. Yes. I'm being serious. You think I'm joking, dude.
I know you're not.
I love WWE. I love any wrestling. I love any wrestling. I love Greco wrestling. I love freestyle wrestling. I love folk style
Now,
wrestling.
Last episode we got into it, and you said that was boring to watch. NCAA.
Well, it's boring compared
Well,
to WWE.
Well, of course,
Because
there's
there's
a soap
no,
opera with
I
it.
don't know, fireworks and soap opera, and somebody died, but then they came back.
That's
and,
because first off,
okay,
there are no fireworks.
I don't know. It's inside. They have fire.
That's energy.
They have fire. Oh,
That's energy.
ah, man, I missed it.
Okay. To you guys, we call you marks in the wrestling
They
world.
have terms for us.
For people like you,
Marks, faces, and
for
heels.
people like you that don't understand,
the cold mentality.
it's not a. Oh my goodness! Here we go. Here we go. Already. Oh my
We're
goodness.
speaking in the third person for an organization.
Oh, good grief.
What do you guys say about that, Brad?
What are we gonna do? I mean, what can I say?
I don't know.
What
I
can
got questions for you guys about it later.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Ask now.
We'll say,
Let's get into this. Let's get into WrestleMania, baby.
We should.
Real quick, if you are on the live stream on YouTube, give us a
There's nobody on the live stream. We don't have any viewers.
We have no viewers right now.
We have no viewers.
We have one viewer.
Who? Who is it?
It doesn't tell me who.
For some reason, I can't even see. I just said that. I don't even know that we. I mean, I don't know. I'm just talking. But like, to be completely honest with you,
We really.
I
need-
wasn't even going to come in here tonight
Whoa.
Why?
because I really need to be home rewatching
Watching
SmackDown from last night.
Rewatching.
Rewatching.
So what?
Okay, wait a minute. Listen, I watched SmackDown last night live. Okay, and then I watched it again today, and I really needed to rewatch it again. But I'll watch it tomorrow morning before I come to practice.
Tomorrow morning? Before
Yes,
you come to break?
I will get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and
Oh.
I will watch WWE SmackDown in the morning. I have to. It's my duty as a man.
I feel as if everyone should worry about themselves, that you're going to have all that energy.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
I'm coming in to whip somebody's ass tomorrow morning. But listen, this shit is getting about to get real. Okay, I've been playing games this whole week. People haven't been coming into practice. I don't know if my wife warned them for some reason, but like attendance was really low Monday morning, Tuesday morning, this morning.
I think everybody's doing the same thing you're doing. Is they're just sitting at home watching WrestleMania.
They're getting up at
24/7.
3 a.m., not 4.
They're beating you.
They're beating you by an hour.
You know what? Nothing would make me prouder if my students was watching more WWE
He
than
could
me.
stand up right now and rip that shirt open and have
That-
a big American flag.
That would make me. That's American.
That
To
is
watch WWE, that's American shit. That's just American.
So we need to bring a ring in here next year for WrestleMania.
Ding, ding.
I'm telling you.
Let's do it.
I'm telling you.
Let's do it. Hey, now you guys wasn't with me over at Sanford and Sons where the gym used to be.
No, not Dalton.
No.
You wasn't. No, not Dalton. Not Dalton. That was the MMA.
Oh no,
gym.
I was over at San Francisco.
You was over at Sanford and Sons.
Of course.
Okay. Was you there when I hit Tiffany Lee with the RKO?
No, I missed that day.
Look, I hit her with the RKO
Off the top of the cage.
in a live grappling match.
What is an RKO for us marks
Ooh,
over here?
mine like a steel trap. You can't fuck with me.
And okay, I can forgive you for not knowing. Okay, first off, hear me out.
Can you hand me a beer?
There's a trinity of pro wrestling.
I'm listening.
No! Don't take your headphones off to
Okay.
get him a beer. We're talking about WWE right now.
Okay.
Don't you ever interrupt me when I'm talking WWE.
Hand.
You candy ass.
I can't hear you. See what you did to me?
That's what happens. So there's a trinity of pro wrestling.
Okay.
Okay, the holy trinity of pro wrestling: Brock Lesnar, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton. What the hell is she laughing at? What the fuck is that funny?
She has no idea what you're talking
I
about.
just
I'm trying to explain it to her.
the gravity of saying their names.
The Viper.
Randy Orton.
Yes, the Viper. Randy Orton. And his finishing move is the RKO.
Okay.
It's the most devastating finishing move in the history of pro wrestling.
Okay.
Okay?
In
In the history. There's been no other finishing move more devastating. He can hit it from anywhere.
the stunner.
Oh, good God. The Stone Cold Stunner's so slow. It's slow. And look, I love Stone Cold.
Paved the
Look,
way
no.
for the RKO.
Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
Yet. What kind of answer is that?
I don't know. I just
We're
agreeing
just
with you
leading it
before
down
you
the
wanted-
direction you wanted.
Listen to me. Randy Orton, okay, and the RKO is the most devastating, most sudden, most explosive finishing move in the history, of professional sports. It's more deadly than Hickson Gracie's armbar.
Holy shit.
It's more deadly than Michael Jordan's jumper.
Are we getting shut down? He said
It's
something
more
crazy.
deadly than Babe Ruth's swing.
Well, okay.
It's more deadly than Tiger Woods' swing.
Not than his wife's.
Ooh.
I wanted to get some in there. That was really good.
It is. The RKO, and it's out of nowhere. We got to get you a shirt.
Okay.
Sure.
Have you never seen the shirt I wear? The blue one? Look, it looks miraculous on me. It really does. It's a
Doesn't
thing.
everything look miraculous on you?
Yes, but I mean, this is just
And
like
heavenly angels are singing.
Look, I glow.
The cherubims.
I levitate when I have it on. Okay, and it says RKO.
Okay.
The O is a viper's head, and on the back it says hashtag out of nowhere.
Oh,
Look, he can hit it from you jumping off the top rope. He can hit it from you attacking him.
Okay.
He can hit it from you getting up.
What is it?
He can hit it from you jumping off the apron.
So what is it?
He can hit it when you're in the ring and he's not in the ring. That's some shit.
Magic.
Magic. He just appears out of nowhere.
It's like he's like a Houdini, just in there and out.
Look, listen. Randy Orton this weekend at WrestleMania, this is my prediction, will remain the United States heavyweight champion.
That's a thing?
That is a thing.
Did she just ask if that's a thing?
That's a thing. I think I need another.
Who hired her? What the hell?
Dual decision.
It was a duel.
Duel. I got that
50-50.
on video. That's on video.
Very well received.
RKO. So next year we're getting a wrestling ring and we're gonna put it in the gym for WrestleMania week.
And that's it.
And all grappling rounds
done in the ring.
will be done in the ring, at least with me.
And you have to finish with some type of finishing move.
Now you know I used to have a female pro wrestler
Wow.
that I trained.
Yeah.
Lady Tapa. Yeah. Seriously, yeah.
That's
Do you know?
a good
Do you know?
name.
Do you know Lady Tapa?
I do not.
No, that's really her name.
No, that's a good
I think
name.
that's her. Okay, wait a minute. No, that's not really her name. Okay, that's her pro wrestling
That's
name.
her stage name.
But
Her sad name.
her real name is Sani Drawn, I think, and she's related somewhat the same. She's Tongan. She's the same lineage as Jimmy Superfast Snuka, I believe. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, she picked me up on her shoulders at the old gym we used to have.
Yeah.
And like had me up in like a torture rack. It was like, all kidding aside, I'm not making this up, and I've been a part of
In a torture rack.
in a torture rack.
She's Tongan, so let's just get that
Well,
straight.
Yeah, let's establish that fact first. She's Tongan, which means she's strong as hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and she picked me up on her shoulders in a torture rack, and I'm being serious. Okay, I've met a lot of people. I've been in a lot of big time situations. I've been to a lot of big time fights. I've been to a lot of big time wrestling events. I've met a lot of famous professional athletes in my life, but never before, outside of when I went to WWE and when I went to WCW live, I've never had a prouder moment than when she put me in the torture rack.
Do you have any photography of this lovely session?
You know what? I think Nicole might have got a picture. Somebody might have gotten a picture.
Can we hang that under Master Leo's?
No, we can't do that. But we can put it up here in the office somewhere.
So can you check real fast the YouTube stream real fast? Because I'm having an issue here.
Well, I'm sitting there looking at it. 5 people are watching right now.
Nice.
Can you see the chat?
Can I see the chat?
Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah, I can see the chat. Let's see here. It says.
If you can hear us, let us know. Because YouTube's not giving me anything on
It says Baywatch. It says
Thank you.
it says 2 is watching, and Regina Palumbo said, "Megan, what do you think about WWE?" Did you not tell Regina not to watch this tonight?
I told Regina that she should, and she should help me.
That she should watch it.
Why not?
Is Gray awake? Is your son awake?
He might be. He's going to sleep. He'll go to sleep soon.
All right. Okay.
I need her support. Regina, I need your support. Help
So,
me.
Regina, tell us how the sound is.
No, don't start that foolishness.
Yeah, I need to make sure.
If the sound was bad or perfect sound, she says. She says perfect sound.
Perfect.
And that was quick too. The ping was amazing.
Don't.
Okay, anyway, so let's get this podcast started,
Can I
man.
have a beer, please?
No beers.
I've got sound perfect. I deserve beer.
Okay. I was like, I'll do it. It's fun. While you're down there, please, sir, may I have another?
Oh.
I said, please, sir, may I have another? Anyone.
So,
Thank you.
as you can tell, Brett is a very big WrestleMania person.
I can't tell that. I still really want to know what an RKO is.
I am the wrestling person.
You are going to have to
Margot, hello. Margot.
You're going to have to look it up tonight and figure it out. And then next week, I swore I thought we had stuff to write down from last week that we were going to cover this week.
We probably did.
I
we failed.
do have those questions, though, if I could ask.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Shit,
Oh,
yes.
awesome.
Bring
God,
it.
we like you, man.
Yeah.
Not
So
we like you. We like you.
right now.
Yeah.
Before I ask the question. So the thing is, so we're into WrestleMania, right? We,
Yes.
You, I say we as in not me.
Okay.
If you were a character,
Yes.
number one, what's your theme song? And what's your stick? What's your
I'll answer his theme song.
what is it?
The champ is here.
Oh, okay, there you go. What's your story? What's your
You're
backstory?
such a smart ass. You know that? You know what?
Everybody,
I don't even know why.
everybody agrees with me.
Okay, hold on.
And you agree with me because you're smiling about it.
No. Wait a minute. Okay, she trains here too.
I do.
There are viewers that train here.
What's his favorite
This is true.
song?
I hear that one a lot.
You hear what? A
The
lot.
champ is here. A
You
lot.
two are so full of it.
And then what's the other one?
I'm going to pull it up just to make you smile.
There's two.
So
There's
YouTube viewers,
2 or 3.
Nick Lacaria here, Slick Nick, is being a smart ass. The question was, if I was a WWE character, which by all means I should be in the WWE already, okay, by all
Should
means. But she said if I was a WWE character, what would be my theme song? That was the first part of the
Regina,
question. And,
if you
and
don't
smart ass over here
chime in
said
right
the
now.
champ is here because he says that when we're in jiu-jitsu practice that I continuously play the same songs over and over and over. And he says that the champ is here is the one that I play the most. I think that the champ is here. It's what's going through your ears when I'm holding you down in side control and twisting
pinching
your
my ear.
cauliflower ear. That's what I think. That's why you continue to hear it. It's not that I play it a lot.
So it's just the ringing in my ears of this song.
Yes. Are you ready to play it right now?
Of course.
Play it for our listeners. It's a beautiful song. And hopefully they'll recognize it because this is going to lead us into another topic, and then we'll come back to your second question.
Okay.
Yeah, are you going to play it?
I am trying to, but
Man, you're not
we
Puff
need-
Daddy.
We need to get.
Like you are the man, I'm telling you.
Look, I'm trying to be Puff Daddy.
Biggie said Puff was a dope producer.
Well, he was.
You're
but
a turd
I'm-
producer.
I'm running off. No, I'm not getting a turd.
He's a turd. He's over here struggling with YouTube trying to get this song to play.
I'm struggling.
It's iTunes now.
Oh, he's on iTunes.
Yep.
It's everything.
Can't get it to play, can you?
Nope.
You know why?
Because our internet sucks.
Has nothing to do with that. It's the good Lord talking to you, buddy.
Probably is.
The good Lord.
It is the
It's
universe.
the good Lord saying, Nick, you
Don't-
are wrong.
Don't play this song.
You are wrong. Anyway, for you listeners out there, the song is called "The Champ Is Here." It's had several remixes, and it is the walkout song for who, Nick? Who walks out to this song in the UFC?
Oh gosh, I just had it.
Megan, who walks out to this song in the UFC?
I don't know. As
The-
soon as you say
Hold
it.
on. Let me explain to you who walks out to this song.
Okay.
Robbie Lawler.
The champ.
Robbie Lawler.
The champ walks out. The champ.
Robbie-
Not the UFC champ, okay?
Robbie
not,
Lawler.
not the pretend champs. The champ. Do you know who the champ is, Slick Nick?
Robbie Lawler.
Just stop talking. Do you know who the champ is,
That's
Megan?
who comes out to this song.
I don't.
Do you know who the greatest champion that's
It's
ever
not
lived?
John Jones.
John Bones Jones.
It's not John Jones.
He needs-
The champ is here.
That's his
The champ is
walkout.
here.
That's his walkout song.
No.
The champ is here. Yes, it is. And do you know
Man.
who it is in the background? Who they've mixed in saying the champ is here? Do you know who that is? It is the second greatest combat sports champion that has ever lived, Muhammad Ali.
Oh wow. Okay.
I've got sound.
Actually, Muhammad Ali is the third greatest sports champion that's ever lived. The first greatest, who's the number one greatest sports champion that's ever lived of all time in any sport?
Sports
In
champion.
any sport, in all professional sports, who's the greatest?
Bruce Jenner.
Caitlyn.
Oh, my bad.
See, like you can't even hit your spots right. If you had said Caitlyn Jenner, then everybody would have been like, "Ooh!" But you said Bruce Jenner. That's just terrible, man. The timing's terrible.
The artist formerly known as Bruce.
Boo.
Now we're just gonna have to come up with this.
Who is the greatest professional combat sports champion that has ever lived?
I have to answer this.
Oh,
for
you
both
said
of us.
combat, but you didn't say
Combat.
combat, before. Okay, the greatest.
Well,
combat.
this guy's actually the greatest athlete. Period.
Wow.
Period.
It is moving up the ladder.
Demetrius Johnson.
No.
Aw. Why not
The
DJ?
Viper,
He hates him.
Randy Orton.
I thought I was gonna, I was gonna say Roy Orton. I was like, I was
Rock and
gonna
Roll
screw
Express.
that up so bad. I was gonna be
Randy
like Ray
Orton.
Orton.
Randy Orton is the greatest combat sports athlete that has ever lived.
He stole that from the Rock and Roll.
He can
Express.
RKO anyone out of nowhere.
We still don't know what an RKO
Hold
is.
on, who's number two?
The Rock.
Demetrius Johnson.
John Jones. We've already been
Johnson.
through this.
No, what the
John
Rock?
Bones Jones.
DJ.
Again.
John Bones Jones.
DJ.
DJ?
Yeah.
Thank you.
What are you talking about?
He's all around.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
He fights 125-pound
Just because
men.
he's tiny doesn't
What are
mean
you talking about?
he's gonna crawl all over everybody. He's talented.
Boo! Because oh my
Talented.
goodness,
Just because he's small. Just because he's small.
Demetrius Johnson has lost.
He has.
John Jones has never lost.
Arguably.
He has never lost.
And when has he really shown up lately? Not on something.
What does that matter?
Do
you okay? But
I wasn't going to bring this up.
Wait a minute.
You,
Hold on.
you
wait,
fucking opened this
wait a
can
minute.
of worms.
Let me ask you a question.
Performance.
Did you watch the
turning
Super
off
Bowl
my
this
mic.
year?
No.
You
Go
didn't-
sports team.
Did you what? Do you know who won the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Aaron, you are a lucky man.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
Okay? The Philadelphia Eagles.
Which they used to be part of the
Wait a
Pittsburgh
minute.
Steelers.
Wait a
so
minute.
the Steelers won.
Wait a minute. Oh my good God. Now we're going back to
stretching.
1912.
We're stretching.
Yeah, we're reaching across football fields again. Here we
You
go.
know
talking
what?
about
You know,
Minnesota and
do you
the
know what the name
Lakers.
of the
Let's
team
just
was
start.
called?
No.
It's called the Steagles.
We don't care.
Look that shit up, motherfucker.
Well, we can then start talking about Minnesota and how everybody stole names from them. But anyway.
Well, until their ceiling fell in.
Lakers.
No. Who?
The Minnesota Lakers at one point. At one point.
God, well, that's
Until
because
they went to
it was the
LA.
land of 1,000 lakes.
10,000.
Do you have like an earpiece in underneath those headphones that Nicole's talking to you,
Nah.
like telling you to say stuff?
Oh,
Uh-uh.
shit.
Because it feels like it. It
Nah.
feels like you're just like she's throwing stuff over here across the table at me.
She's my friend.
I got to keep you out of Monday night Queen's class.
I care for her.
Oh my good lord. Anyways, Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl this year.
Okay.
Do you think anyone on their team was possibly on steroids?
I'm going to say yes.
Do you look
Do
at
you
me
care?
across? Hold on, stop.
Do you care?
No, wait a minute. Let me finish. Do you look across here at me and go, "Well, have they ever played a football game where they wasn't on steroids?" Do you guys do that? Do you? Do you?
I mean, it's like kids in Adderall. Are you really actually doing it, or is the Adderall doing it?
They don't get caught.
They don't.
Okay, first off, John Jones once again is undefeated. He has beaten. Hold on. Olympic. Wait a minute.
I say
He has
nothing.
beaten Olympic medalists. He has beaten black belts. He has beaten strikers. He has beaten kung fu karate dudes.
And how
he
many
has
of those
hold
have
on, wait a
been
minute.
overturned?
He has beaten everybody that they have thrown out there against him. End of story. You can't deny. I don't care what they turned around when it was inside the cage. When it came to boots to asses. Remember, we're back to boots to asses.
Boots to asses.
We don't have
Boots
a
to
name
asses.
tag. We don't have it yet.
Where is my name tag?
Where's the name
Secretary of Boots,
Boots
to
and
asses.
I got to figure
You
that
wouldn't
out.
let me put it up.
Just got to put a piece of
Somebody,
paper
somebody's on.
right here.
Who is this laughing? Phobos Moon 1? I don't even know. Oh yeah, Margot said I got to turn on the on air button.
Shit.
Oh.
We're slow on that.
Thank you, Margot. I appreciate that. Thank you for looking out for me. Brian Heslin, thank you. I'm glad you said that. It sounds great. Guys,
Oh, shit. Big Brian's listening tonight.
Brian's listening. Boots to asses is what John Jones specializes in. He's like Randy Orton. Randy Orton specializes in boots to asses through the RKO. Muhammad Ali specialized in boots to asses through the jab. Okay? John Jones specializes in boots to asses through foot to asses. The three greatest combat athletes that's ever lived. End of story. I rest my case. I'm not talking no more. Go on with the podcast.
Did you have another question?
I was just going to say, let's physically line them up. The ones you were talking about. To athletes today, the ones Muhammad Ali and Randy Orton, right?
Mm-hmm.
And line them up with athletes today and see the size difference.
The what?
The mass difference.
Of who? Of what?
Because everybody now is using steroids or HGH or something else.
Okay, first off, John Jones did not use steroids. That's unproven. He had a tainted supplement the first time.
Oh, wasn't it like a Viagra-like supplement?
That
or
was the
something?
second time, I think.
What was the reason that he needed the Viagra-like supplement?
The man
He's
was weak.
working.
The man was weak from training.
He's working hard.
The man was weak from training.
He's working hard. Hardly working. He's working.
Viagra's been known to make you hard.
There it is.
There you go.
It does make you hard when something else makes you soft.
Why are you such a John Jones hater? Why are we?
I just want to stir the pot with you.
No. It's not stirring the pot. Like you are
Because
truly a hater. He's like-
Actions.
do you know you're sitting over there next to to Haterade.
I do not hate John
This man
Jones.
drinks Haterade in the morning.
Well, I mean, I guess he can spread it over here because I'm not quite a fan.
How could you not be a fan of John Jones?
He's
I
talented.
do
He
because
wins.
You get so upset when I do it.
No, I don't get upset. I feel
enjoy it.
sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. I mean, I really do. I feel sorry for I almost want to like hug you.
Because we
And, like,
just miss
rub your-
out
You
I
do
want to
hug
rub
me.
your little cauliflower ear like this. I just want to,
and then squeeze it and pinch.
and then
It's gonna blow up in his face one of these days, and he's gonna get a mouthful of blood, and he's gonna wish he never did that.
I've seen him explode before. It wouldn't bother me.
I know, but when it explodes in your mouth,
That didn't sound good.
That's going to go
And
to a
that
lot
would
of
never
places.
happen. And don't you ever say anything like that again.
Good job, Nick.
Um,
I'm not the one over here pinching cauliflower ear.
Hey, man, listen, quit hating, man. Okay, so let's go on with the podcast. What's on our agenda today? I know we've got some listeners and viewers that sent in a couple questions, and we've got some local stuff to talk about and some regional stuff. What we got?
First thing I want to talk about was actually not on here, but what'd you think about the seminar this weekend?
The seminar this weekend. Oh, you mean the Ivaniel Oliviera seminar?
Yep. And then I also want to talk about, obviously, the GIs for GIs.
Well, first off, the Ivaniel Oliviera seminar was amazing.
Amazing.
It was amazing. And I'm going to be completely honest on this, and it may piss some people off, but I was disappointed that we didn't have a bigger turnout. Okay, and that was a lot of that was my fault because it was Easter weekend. I totally underestimated how many people
Go out of town on Easter.
how many people go out of town on Easter. So that was my fault. On the flip side of that coin, I am so happy
Not a lot of people.
that
showed
not
up.
a lot of people showed up. I'm so you know the information that was given, the technique that was shown, absolutely 110%
Amazing.
phenomenal. You know, if you the rule of thumb that I was given by a man who knows what he's talking about, Dan Gable. He said that if your wrestlers can retain 10% of what they get at a seminar, then you had a good seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a lot of clinicians go out of their way to show a lot of bull, and a lot of people go out of their way to just show some stuff that it's just that maybe the group is not ready for. Now, granted, we had a small group. We had about 10 people at the seminar, and my experience as a clinician is that it's easier to teach a low amount because you can do it like Professor Oliveira did, and you can literally turn it into a private almost.
That's what it.
And that's really what it
that's
was.
What it became.
He actually let people ask questions one at a time, and then he answered them with his technique and what he would do in the situation, his transitions, and it was just phenomenal.
That's invaluable.
Oh, it was invaluable. And I mean, I was so happy that no one showed up. Especially from other schools. I was so happy that you ignorant son of a bitches did not come to that seminar. I was so happy. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I enjoyed the hell.
I thought it was awesome. I loved it.
Shout out to him. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming.
shout out
to Professor Khan.
Yeah,
for-
shout out to Professor Elton Cruz, Professor Ivaniel Oliveira for coming out here and doing a phenomenal seminar. And speaking of seminars and Professor Cruz, that brings me to this weekend.
It's coming back.
This weekend. Yep, Professor Cruz, Checkmate, Myrtle Beach, coming back this weekend with a horde of clinicians.
Do people understand what is about to befall them
No.
this Saturday?
No, and hopefully they don't. Hopefully they just mail in a bunch of geese and they mail in some donations and they don't come, and I get all the knowledge to myself. That's what I hope happens.
And we get a private.
And we get
From
five phenomenal
clinicians.
phenomenal clinicians. We've got Professor Elton Cruz from Checkmate Myrtle Beach. I can't say enough about him. He is trained in he's half Brazilian, half Japanese. He lived in Japan for a long time. He lived in Brazil for a long time. He trained under Hicks and Gracie. He trained under Master Oliveira. Master Ivaniel Oliveira. He's a Checkmate black belt. This guy's been around the world. His jiu-jitsu is sick. And he is phenomenal by himself. He's phenomenal. Steve Hall. one of Hoist Gracie's top black belts on the East Coast,
Yep,
probably
hands down.
maybe even in the world. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how Hoist ranks him or whatever, but I know Steve Hall has done it all from MMA to law enforcement training. I don't know what degree black belt he is because I don't really have a hand on the Hoist ranking system. It's a little bit different than what everybody else does. But Steve Hall is phenomenal. He's hands down one of the top 3 jiu-jitsu instructors in the state of North Carolina by far. And then Joe Selecki. Black belt. I said before he was a black belt under Frankie Patches, who's through Matt Serra. I don't think that's who he got his black belt from. But Joe Selecki, if you don't know who he is, guys,
Google him.
Google him. Footlock machine, and he is engulfed in the sport of MMA instead of the sport of sports jiu-jitsu. But just to have him in here with his leg lock attacks is going to be awesome. And then to top it off, my personal favorite, the gerbil Jeremy Orrell. One of Gordo, yeah.
Is he confirmed?
He's confirmed. He's going to be here.
Holy shit, people, get down here. You don't know what you're going to fucking miss.
Do not get down here.
Bring your geese.
Send a donation to Geese for GIs. Mail in a gi.
Checkmate Charlotte.
And let me get all this knowledge and information for me. Okay? Please. Just let me get it all. Okay? Just let me and my school get it. So I'm fine with that.
We can pass it along to you.
Yeah. Keep your nappy asses at home. I'm fine with that. Keep your nappy behinds at home.
So what is the most, I guess, what are you looking towards what are you going to want to see the most this weekend?
Of those clinicians, what am I looking forward to the most? You know what's funny? You know what's weird? I'm one of those guys that when I find something that I'm good at, it's tough to get me to get away from it, especially if I know that it's fundamentally and technically sound. You're
going to the Joe Selecki stuff.
No. I'm going to the Jeremy Orrell stuff. And I used to train. I used to train under Jeremy. And
Are you coming?
His half guard system is one of the best in the world. And I'm a checkmate black belt. I'm a Lucas Lecce guy to the day I die. But I'm telling you, Jeremy Orrell's half guard it is right there with Lucas Lecce's. I mean, and the greatest thing about Jeremy is, most people don't know this, he has a college degree in physical education. He's a teacher.
Nice.
He's a teacher. Just like, a lot of times I know you guys give me compliments and about being a good instructor. I don't know if I'm per se a good instructor, but I'm a phenomenal coach. And I've had a lot of experience in the school system, outside the school system, national wrestling and stuff like that. And that experience is what makes me
you're well-rounded.
a good instructor. Yeah. Well, it's the delivery.
Yeah, right.
It's the delivery. You can be good at jiu-jitsu, but you can suck butt crack at delivering what you're trying to get across, what you're trying to say. I mean, just some old stink nasty butt crack. That's what some instructors' delivery is. The truth. It's just some of them are watching right now. Listen, if you're a black belt, and you can roll good and you've got an awesome couple moves and you can submit everybody in the world, that's fine. But if when you're explaining it and you're teaching, you reek of butt crack. Your delivery's terrible. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's your breath or anything. I'm just saying you don't explain it very well. Well, they don't explain it well. They don't deliver it well. They don't correct it. They don't point the fine details out. Jeremy Orrell, his delivery is spot on. And I know what I should do. I should take my naturally black ashy behind over there with Steve Hall and get something that I haven't seen before possibly. I should go over there with Joe Selecki and brush up on my leg locks, though my leg locks are pretty damn good. Or maybe I should go over there with Professor Cruz and rub shoulders with my checkmate buddy. But
so how is this going to run? Are you going to have like them in different areas?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know. Let's see. Somebody said Billy Dowie needs to come to Charlotte. Billy Dowie needs to come to Charlotte. I see you on here, Billy. Billy, are you still on here? Billy, are you still on here? Are you on the YouTube channel? I'm turning the Facebook Live off, guys. Go over to the YouTube channel.
Yes. More views on YouTube.
Yeah, Brian Crandell said he can call. Oh, my good God. Sammy Henson is on here. Guys, Sammy Henson, one of the greatest college wrestling coaches, is on the Facebook Live right now. What's up, Coach? You keeping Von Eggety's ass straight? I hope so. You need to. Somebody's got to control him. When you get done with him in college wrestling, send him back home so I can have him beat some people up in the cage. But anyways, I'm turning the Facebook Live off, guys. Go over to the YouTube channel, The Bread, or go to my Facebook page, and you'll see the link.
So why do you think Checkmat is so good with their half guard?
I mean, honestly, I think half guard. I think that if you can wrestle, or if you concentrate on wrestling, I think that half guard is a guard that you can naturally flock to because you can come up off of your back and reattack. And I mean, and I'm just speaking from my point of view as a wrestler.
But why do you think that everybody that is high up in Checkmat has a very good half guard game?
Well, because I just told you they do a lot of concentration on the stand up wrestling. And when you can control the takedown on your feet, you want to be on top, and you want to be on top coming out of a takedown. Right. Because the positioning is different. The control is different. You know, if you're dropping somebody on their head, it's different than you ending up on top of them because you swept them. Right. Necessarily like from guard or something. So I think in Checkmat, you know, the theory, the base concept seems to be wrestle hard on your feet, get the takedown. If you can't get the takedown, pull guard, and then you end up in some type of butterfly single leg X or half guard, and then you wrestle your way up to the leg, and then it's basically a takedown scenario again. So hold on, Brian Crandall is calling, and I don't know why.
Put him on. We can put him on air.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I mean, I don't know. You put it on speaker on this.
I mean, I can literally tie him in. Depending on what.
Well, that sort of muted him.
There you go.
Hello, Brian. Everybody, this is Brian Crandell. He owns Geese for GIs. What's up, Brian?
Hey, man, I just heard you had some questions about the format of the seminars we do.
Yeah, tell us. You're live right now.
All right, cool. What we do at 11 o'clock is, depending on the first two black belts that want to teach, as long as we got about 25 to 30 attendees, what I'll do is I'll split the attendees up into two different groups. And the way I do that is I give out bracelets as people pay. I give them bracelets. Even the instructors have bracelets. It makes it easy to kind of look around and see. If you don't have a bracelet, you will be questioned on why you're on the mat.
Okay.
But each bracelet's numbered. So what we'll do is we'll say if you got an odd number at the end, you go to one mat. If you got the even number, you go to the other mat. Two black belts teach at the same time. One teaches one group, the other teaches the other group for 45 minutes. At the end of that 45 minutes, the black belts switch groups. So each group will see all four black belts for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
And then it goes on to the next two black belts?
After the first 45 minutes, we'll probably, after the first 45 minutes, we'll take probably about a 15-minute break so people can use the restroom, grab something to drink, grab a protein bar, whatever, and then we'll go on to the next two black belts and do the exact same format. 45 minutes, black belt switch, and then 45 minutes, and then
This is going to be awesome.
call it a day, open mat, whatever. If people want to roll and you're willing to keep the gym open for them to roll, it's up to you and other people if they want to stay and train. But all four black belts will be teaching every person at the seminar, and also Evan Goyette's going to videotape it, so there will be video available afterwards once he gets it edited. Anybody that wants it.
Okay, whoa, Brian.
Just mark it off.
Brian,
Yep.
you know Evan Goyette's not allowed in my gym, right?
No, I didn't.
No, I'm serious. I have a trespassing. He can't come in here.
All right, then Evan Goyette won't be videoing it. I'll be videoing it and then putting something together.
I'm just joking. I like Evan.
I don't freaking know. I was like, man, was he stalking you the same way he was stalking me? But that's why I moved out of Charlotte. So I didn't know.
Hey, man, we really appreciate you bringing Geese for GIs here. Tell just real quick, because you can communicate this a little bit better than I can. Tell everybody online what Geese for GIs is.
Geese for GIs is a very surreal thing for me. I can't believe that I actually thought of something that has taken off and is worldwide. What we do is we try to connect our veterans and first responders mainly to the community. You can do that in many different ways, but of course we use the tool of jiu-jitsu. And we're doing that to help aid in the prevention of suicides. As everybody knows, you hear quite often about these numbers, whether it's 18, 20, 22, 28, whatever the number is of suicides in that community, one is too many. So we believe that jiu-jitsu is capable of curving that number. I don't think anybody will ever see it get to zero, but the more veterans, the more first responders, the more active duty personnel we can get on the mats. With the mental and physical aspects Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gives people in a positive manner, we believe that those that decide to do Jiu-Jitsu will lead healthier lives, both mentally and physically. As you know, everybody that does Jiu-Jitsu pretty much states, man, it's one of the best things I've ever gotten in my life. So I've yet to hear anybody say, I tried Jiu-Jitsu and it made me want to it made me want to do bad things. Everybody seems to radiate toward the more positive lifestyle as they do jiu-jitsu.
Totally agree.
I tell people all the time that jiu-jitsu can change your life, and it's very hard to articulate how that is a fact.
Yes.
And I also, I know that we're going to have a special treat. I hope you know something about this, but Professor Elton Cruz's wife works in something with the Marine Corps dealing with the psychology and how jiu-jitsu can affect how it helps vets. And I know that she said, she's willing to, this weekend talk to people and sort of break it down scientifically how it can help.
Yes.
And so I'm super excited about that if that takes place.
Yes, before we get started, I talked to her a couple weeks ago, and she's going to get 15, 20 minutes, whatever time she needs to articulate her points, and hopefully that will resonate with some people. And like I said, man, what we do, though, with all that I just said, what we do is we send gis to give these I coined the phrase oath takers. More people understand veterans and first responders more than they do oath takers. So we give these veterans, first responders, active duty military members, we give them a gi for free. We get donated gis. Sometimes we're lucky enough where we get enough money to purchase gis from Origin Gi Company, and we send the gis out to them. The only cost they accrue is shipping, which is $13.65 for a single gi. Once they get the gi, we hope that they take part and get themselves out, either start their journey or continue their journey in jiu-jitsu and to a healthier lifestyle. So that's pretty much what we do, man. We give them their first gi or their third gi, whatever it is, but we send gis. I don't know
Brian,
how far you want me to get into this, but
hey Brian, this is Nick.
Hey Nick, how you doing?
Hey, good, buddy. So what can people do to help Pete and the guys at Origin up there get more gis out to people?
Normally what they do is I have a fundraiser right now. I think it ends April 30th. It's on Facebook through Gis for GIs. I have a great relationship with those guys up there. So what they do is they give me a special pricing. Because they do know that I'm not profiting off of these gis, that these gis are actually being given away once I purchase them. We are an official 501c3, so any major donations are tax deductible if you want to use it for that reason. But the best way to do it, honestly, would be to donate directly to Gis for GIs, because Pete and those guys up at Origin, they don't necessarily send gis out for us. What we do is we purchase them at a discounted rate, and then we give them away when we can.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
So it's easy. We got donate buttons all over our webpage, www.gisforgis.org. Can't get much easier than that. We are selling compression shirts, the rash guards. long sleeve, short sleeve, ranked, or our original logo. They are on our website also. If you go to the shop,
will you have any of those for sale at the seminars?
Unfortunately, with them being ranked, no, we didn't purchase a whole lot of them. As far as like a lot of different sizes and stuff, we do only special orders. So I was going to put in an order for Friday, but maybe I'll hold off until Sunday. That way, if anybody at the seminar wants to order one, they can go online and order it, pay for it, and then we ship that up to we ship the order up to Origin, and they put a special order together for us. All the fabric, everything in Origin is made here in the United States, so everything up there, it'll be made on their looms, it'll be printed up there, it'll be sewn up there. Everything is done in their factory here in the United States.
Now, hold on, Brian, wait a minute. I just want to make sure I understand. Do you have any of these rash guards on hand?
No.
Okay, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm a pretty big deal around here at Checkmate Charlotte. And if you did, I was gonna say probably be a good idea to just bring me one of them bad boys. But since you don't have any, hey, man, Brian, we can't thank you enough. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a real big softy when it comes to the military. I love the military. I love the vets. I love what the guys do for us. I appreciate them protecting my ass, because there is nothing more important in the United States of America than my naturally black ass. So I'm glad that all the military vets have been looking out for me over these years and keeping the bad guys away from us. And I appreciate what they do, and I appreciate you helping them, seriously, because I'm not a vet, and I can't speak to what one goes through, but I have a lot of friends that are, and I know that it's serious when they come home from these active duty or even non-active. I mean, I know it's a real thing. It's serious, and it's something that needs to be addressed. And what you're doing, me personally, I think it's phenomenal, and I want to thank you from the public, private citizen, aspect of it. Thank you, man. Thank you for what you're doing, and I can't wait till this weekend. I'm so happy. I'm so proud to be hosting this thing. And hopefully this weekend we have so many people that it's just too big to hold here, and we hold it somewhere else. Hell, I'd like to have it. If it was up to me, we'd be hosting the damn thing at Grady Cole next time. So that's what I want to do. I want to make this thing big.
Brian, will you have any patches or any other swag that's going to be available for people to buy to support your cause?
I'll have some T-shirts. Boomer at Cage Side, he just made me another bunch of T-shirts I'm going to be bringing up, and I do have some patches. Depending on how many people there, we have some smaller patches that we can give away. If people want them, I'll have them out.
I'll buy a patch. Bring me a patch to buy.
I still have some, so.
Yeah, we're buying stuff.
Yeah, bring me a patch to buy.
That would be awesome.
We're buying stuff.
Donations will never. I'm telling you, donations will never be turned down. So
you got two veterans on the staff here.
You give me $5-10, I'm not going to deny it.
All right.
Awesome.
Anybody comes to this damn seminar and takes a free patch is going to have to deal with Steve Hall, my buddy. I'm volunteering Steve Hall. Steve Hall, I'm for the day, for one day, I'm going to allow Steve Hall to be the secretary of Boots to Asses. Okay? But it's just for that day. All right, then I'm taking my title back. Brian, thank you, man, for everything you're doing. And we will see you Saturday.
Nobody needs to bring cash. You don't need to bring cash. I have a card swiper. I take every
great.
card that's known to man. As long as there's money on it and it doesn't get denied, we're good.
All right, man. Thank you for all you're doing.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the kind words, but I couldn't do it without the support of the thousands of people that have been behind me. So I thank them for that. And thank you for what you're doing.
Hey, no problem, brother.
Thanks,
brother,
Brian.
I'll see you Saturday.
See you,
Thanks,
Brian. Bye.
Thanks, Nick. Take care, all. Bye.
That's what we're about here,
That's awesome.
ladies and gentlemen.
That was well worth it.
That
Well,
was how it's supposed to be.
That's nice to understand how it works too, because just coming from that perspective of not ever going to a seminar as a white belt, you're just thinking, what am I walking into? Who's going to be here and how's this going to work? So that was really great that he called in and explained how that works.
That was awesome. That was awesome. So, man, I can't wait till Saturday.
That's going to be a good day.
I am.
It's gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an awesome day. I love jiu-jitsu. And you know what the great thing about the seminar Saturday is?
What?
it preludes WrestleMania the next day.
It's still, we're still talking about it.
We're going to keep talking about it.
We're moving on.
We're going to keep talking about it.
Nicole got her first stripe.
She did.
Yes, she did. Congratulations to Nicole. First stripe as a brown belt. Super proud of that little girl. Super proud of her.
Doing big things.
Super proud of her. She sometimes she's a pain in my ass, but when it comes down to it, you know, I'm very proud of her.
Would you care for her as much as you do if she was just predictable? You know, if she didn't give you a run.
You know what the
Probably not.
you know what the problem you know what the problem
Wow.
you know what the
Probably
problem
not.
you know what the problem with Nicole is?
Okay.
She's like a female version of me. And I honestly think that's why I get so upset at her sometimes.
That's 100% true. Like, personalities are like,
Yeah, cause she, you know, she tells me what she thinks. You know, I'm not one for being argued with. She tells me what she thinks, and she's got, you know, and she don't hold back. She tells me when I'm wrong. You know, yeah, and I try to do the, you know, 2 steps forward, finger in the face, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and she just looks at me and gives me the Stone Cold back, and we just butt heads, and I arm bar.
That's the gas house right there.
Huh?
That's the gas house right
It's
there.
that damn gas house. You know what the gas house is,
I do
Megan?
not know what the gas house is.
It's Gastonia.
Gas stone.
Oh.
We're going to make a road trip. We're going to take you to the gas house.
Okay.
That's where Nicole's from.
Okay.
Boy.
We're going to go to the Buffalo Wild Wings at the gas house.
Oh God, no.
We're going to make a Bread's Kitchen podcast
That's
trip
We have
to the gas
fly our
house.
way out of there. God bless
Oh,
them,
man.
America.
Man, I tell
The
you.
gas house.
The gas
The
house.
gas house.
I got bad memories of things called gas houses.
The gas house.
Well, I mean,
But back to Nicole, man. She's
boot camp.
first stripe, brown belt.
Good for her.
Congratulations,
that's huge.
Nicole.
That's a feat. You know, and I don't think a lot of people
Understand the gravity of the situation.
no, they don't. I hit on this on one of our other podcasts. I think it was podcast. It might have been the first podcast. But yeah, I got you. Hold on.
You sure? Yeah, sure. I didn't want to stop you.
Need that other bag of M&Ms.
Just interrupt me. It's okay. It's okay. But
I'll pay for that.
one of the first couple podcasts we did, I look back on the first Naga that Nicole competed in.
Mm-hmm. What belt was she?
She was a white belt.
Okay.
And the female division as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just talking about her weight class. I'm talking about her weight class.
She won the absolute, right?
No, I don't even remember that. And that's not even the point. There was number one, there were no brown belts. I don't think there were any purple belts.
In
And
women's altogether?
In the women, and I think there might have been one blue.
So what year is this?
This was 2012, 2013.
Okay, so there was no absolute back then. So
It-
how many women do you think in total were
We're
at
at
that?
that.
Man, it was low.
Yeah.
It was
It was
low,
low.
and
It was low.
Percentage of white belts to blue belts.
Listen,
I mean, paint the picture as much as you can remember.
Yeah.
look, white belts was Scarecrow, blue belts was Scarecrow. White belts was white belts were Scarecrow, blue belts were Scarecrow without the head. Okay, I mean it was nil to none.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coaching Nicole and watching her compete and the few other women that was competing. And I remember literally sitting there thinking to myself, I wonder how many of these girls are really going to stick this thing through. Because it was like every female had like a little cheering section.
Yeah.
But it wasn't cheering like they were cheering for an athlete. It's like they were cheering for almost a novelty act. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it does.
It seemed.
Wait. Why do you say that makes sense?
It does make sense because
Well, it makes sense. Number one, because I said it and I was there, sir.
number one. Number two, it makes sense because I would say I've heard her stories of
got WrestleMania
just
on
the
the
lack. I know, right? Just the lack of females in the sport in general, right? And I've heard that since I started. but it seems to be something that you see outside of even this. You know, you'll see the trendsetters, the groundbreakers, right? And then all of a sudden, it's safe. They've paved the way, and so everybody else comes in. So it's not surprising that number was low.
So, what do you feel as a female coming into the sport right now? How does that kind of make you feel walking into what you know you're walking into?
I'm a little biased on that though too because of what I do for work. I'm really used to being,
That's understandable.
Yeah, but no, it's exciting. It always is. No matter if there's a lot.
Do you want
to
tell everybody what you do for work?
I work with computers. No, I'm a network engineer on the outside, so I do all kinds of stuff with hardware that will bore the shit out of you.
And how many women do you work with?
None.
Bada bing.
On the hardware side, everyone's in
Software.
Yep.
And you know what though? I mean, I touched on this the other night at the Queen's class. For you viewers out there that don't know, that's what we call our ladies class.
It's a great class.
Queen's class. If you're
what time is that, and when can they come?
Well, if you let me finish, I'll tell you.
I'm trying to prime you.
At on Mondays at 6:30, we have Queen's class here at Checkmate Charlotte, and it's a all ladies class, and it truly is an all ladies class. I don't teach. I stop by every once in a while. Usually, I'm having kids class before that, our Power Pawns program, and we're ending, and then they start. I say hello to everybody, and then I try to get out as quickly as possible unless there's something that I absolutely have to do. Like this past Monday, I gave Nicole her first stripe on her brown belt. But our women's class is a truly ladies-only class. The instructors are female, and all the students are females, and it's open to anyone in the area, in the region, in the country that wants to come over and train. If you're a female, it's free. But what I was going to say is, Nick, is Nicole, I don't think people really appreciate her journey. She started with me at a time when, for the life of me, I cannot figure out what in the hell she was thinking. My gym that I used to have, Renegade Fighting Systems, that me and Coach Phil Wills used to coach over on Dalton Avenue in Charlotte. We were a MMA gym. Now, I taught jiu-jitsu out of there.
Mm-hmm.
You would have had to have been a damn fool to take jiu-jitsu under me at that gym, because we had a team of MMA fighters, a real team. We didn't have 3 or 4 guys that fought. We had 20 dudes that fought and trained consistently and liked to hurt each other. I used to say all the time, we got killers and dealers. We had dudes, some of them, that if they wasn't fighting, they would be doing bad things to people. And that's not me bragging. It's just it was just their culture they came up with. It was just their set of mind. These guys were violent. And Nicole, not only did she train MMA there, okay, a lot of times being she had another female training partner, Hannah Cyphers, who a lot of people know as the Shockwave. My God, what she was doing there, either, hell if I know, but Hannah lives like 3.5 hours away from our gym, and she would come up once or twice a week.
Wow.
But that was it.
That's dedication.
If she could get there. Sometimes Hannah couldn't get there, so a lot of the times Nicole, who trained there daily, was the only female there.
Yep.
And she was in there with, again, as I said, killers and dealers. And these dudes, it's not like in here. There was no easy rolling. There was no taking it easy on her because she was a girl. I mean, I remember there was times, I literally, the first couple times she started, I thought to myself, she's got to cry. She's got to cry. She's got to quit. And I'm going to be honest. I didn't like the idea at first of her being in there. I didn't know her that well. She had actually, one of her friends who knew one of our assistant coaches approached me at an MMA fight and introduced me to Nicole. And he comes up to me and he literally has her, and the way I remember it is like he was dragging her by the arm, and she's standing in front of me. She's got her little tight affliction shirt on with her little arms sticking out and her little tattoos, and she's looking at me. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, what in the hell is this pretty little girl trying to look at me like she's tough for? And he was half drunk, and he was like, this is Nicole. Ertzberger, and she could be the UFC champ, and blah 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 blah. And I remember looking at him going, "That's awesome." And he was like, "Well, I'm gonna bring her by bread, and she's gonna, Big Phil knows her and knows her husband and knows her friend, this guy and blah blah blah." And I remember thinking, okay. And then she finally came by, and I remember thinking to myself that I didn't like her being in there. I didn't think that it was the place for her to train. That she was the only female. And not only was she the only female, but she was small.
Yeah.
She was really small, and she had this little spunky attitude. Like she was just gonna and it seemed to be directed at me all the time. Like she was gonna show. I don't know if she could pick up on the fact that I didn't like her being there, and I don't think she understood that I was thinking it for her safety. I was concerned about her getting hurt because I had some freaking just eggheads in there, and that little spunky attitude is like it's always projected towards me, and I did everything in my power, okay, not to take a liking to her, and not. Definitely not to get her hurt. I never tried to get her hurt or run her off. But I didn't show her a lot of attention at first. And she kept coming around. And she kept coming. And she would come to my classes. And she would get on the mats. And we would go to turn. And I remember the first time that I said to myself, this little girl is a beast. we was at a new breed tournament. And she took side control on this girl. And I thought to myself, that girl's not moving. And I turned to one of my buddies and I said, she has pressure like an anvil. And after that, I started calling her the Anvil. Mm-hmm. And I actually started right then. I started liking her, and I said, man, she could be a beast. I swear to God, I got in the car and was driving home and thinking about what all had happened at the tournament. And I thought to myself, man, she could be a beast. And then I thought to myself, don't do that. Don't take a liking to her. She's gonna quit. She's not gonna make it.
Leave.
She's gonna leave. One of these eggheads is gonna do something, and you don't want her in there getting hurt anyway. And she never left. And I mean, this is back when.
What year is this?
This was 2012, 2013. About 2014, I finally came around and said, okay, this is one of my heavy hitters. When I put her in the blue belt, and she went to blue belt quick. I put her in the blue belt quick in 2013, I want to say. I don't think she was just to be fair, she had grappled and done MMA at a previous gym. And so but she had never trained in the gi. When she came to me, she was in a white belt. Mm-hmm. And really quick, I realized this girl's got potential, and she knows all the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. She may not have the greatest grip control, gi control, but it don't matter because they just can't deal with what she brings to the table. And I put her in the blue belt quick. And I literally thought to myself, this is so bad. I'm going to put her in this blue belt, and she's going to sink or she's going to swim. And that was when I realized, when I saw what she did at blue belt, I said, you know what? It ain't going to matter what belt it is. She's going to put boots to asses one way or another.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget at the Naga tournament I was talking about, she literally got mad. She won a match, and she got mad because she didn't just beat the shit out of her. Because she didn't smith the girl. And she come off, and she had this little nasty attitude, and her bottom lip stuck out and looking at me like she wanted to do something bad to me. But the reason I say that is because I know Nicole sometimes she catches a tough time. And people really don't appreciate the journey she's taken on. She's been in a room full of Neanderthal brutes who just landed on the line. Whether you like me or don't like me, or you like my students or you don't like my students, she has been in a room full of guys who could step on a mat and grapple at high levels. From Joey Carroll to Joe Pacheco to Nate Davis to Eddie to Kenny to Ricky Rainey, who, by the way, congratulations to Ricky for getting into the UFC. Oh, but she's been on the mat. Denison Pavia, Paulo Mushu. Every tournament she has went to, it didn't matter. Look, I don't think people understand this. Nicole does better in the absolute than she does in her own division. Now, she usually wins her own division. But if she goes to a tournament and she gets third, and she's did this a couple times. In fact, she's did it the last 2 Atlanta IBJJS, and she has placed lost in her division, and then turned around in the absolute and either won it or took second place against girls who are behemoths compared to her.
Oh, outweigh her by.
Outweigh her by. I mean, just ridiculous amount of weight,
Yeah.
and with equal skill sets, sometimes bigger skill sets, or better skill sets. And I mean, that belt, that brown belt, she wears it well, and it's not for debate. It's not for debate her growth and her progression, because she's going to be one hell of a black belt. How this relates to you, how I got on this rant was, you're fortunate
I am.
to come up. Yeah, I don't even really know if, you asked her, how does it feel for her to come into this sport? But you got to remember, she's walking into a school where one of the instructors in the all-ladies class
Yep.
is a high-level brown belt.
Yep.
I mean, that's totally different than what Nicole came into, and totally different than what a lot of females nowadays come into. But the thing that makes me the most proud is, whether you like her or you don't like her, and I know there's some females out there that do hate on Nicole, but she's leading the charge. She steps to the front of the line every chance she gets.
Yep.
And, man, she is – if there's someone who is just she pushes the women's empowerment. She wants to see women's jiu-jitsu grow. It breaks her heart when she has only 4 people in the Queen's class. If you train in Charlotte and you are a female and you're not getting over here, I talk a lot of shit, and I always say people are ass clowns and all that. I'm not going to insult anyone like that, because I don't push these people away. But if you're a female and you train in jiu-jitsu in Charlotte, I beg of you, there is something special going on over here on Monday nights, 6:30 p.m., and it's free.
How special is it?
It's something you don't realize what you've got going on either. She will be humble about how she talks to us, right, and how she leads us through things. But when we went down to Atlanta, to watch IBJJF and see how that was going, to see people approach her as her student, and I'm just kind of looking around and checking everything out, and I see how they're talking to her and how they're approaching her. I really realized right then, I'm like, man, I am super fortunate to have somebody like that. Number one, starting my journey. I don't know where it's going to go or what's going to happen, but this is a huge thing, and I'm just soaking up just like a sponge. Whatever I can get in there and get, it's worth it.
If you had any words of wisdom for any women that wanted to start, what would it be?
It's a comfortable place to be. I know it's probably hard to understand that you could say jiu-jitsu is a comfortable place to be, but the camaraderie and the openness of the class is something you're not going to find anywhere else, and it's kind of special in that way. We do things a little differently, but at the same point in time, it's just to keep everybody in a mood to where they're open to learn.
So you said you do things that are different. How do you do them differently?
I think it seems to be a little bit more relaxed, but at the same point in time, it's just hard to explain the communication. You get the one-on-one attention, when we're drilling or when we're rolling, and we move around with each other. So you're getting the aspects of rolling with different belts every time. And it's all a good experience.
Do you feel that there is...
We don't really clap in any kind of sync. So let's just drop that.
I was not even going to go there.
Just let that go.
You killed my next question, though.
Perfect.
Never mind.
Hey, real quick, and this is just a side note. This is but man, if there's one thing that just absolutely irks Nicole to no end, and all females, if you're watching this, please listen to this, because this is the absolute truth. I don't care if the person down the street, if Nicole knows that that the person down the street has talked absolute shit about her, it irks Nicole to no end for me or anybody else to say something about that person if it's a female. That's how strong of an advocate she is about female empowerment.
Yes.
She wants, she demands that if someone is a female and doing jiu-jitsu, that you give them the respect for them even stepping on the mat. She don't care what they did wrong. She don't care what they said about her. With that being said, okay, I'm going to give some credit, all right, somewhere else. Ladies in Charlotte, Monday night, Queen's class here, Nicole Hunt, first degree black belt, check mat, check her credentials. It's free. Get over here. Also on Friday nights, Tops Martial Arts, Rock Hill, Caitlin Huggins, black belt, has a female open mat. Get there, okay? The one thing I want to say about empowerment is no one can empower you better than you.
Yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
End of story. Get there. If you want to use jiu-jitsu as women to empower women, then get out and do jiu-jitsu. You. Don't wait for somebody else to give it to you. Don't wait for Nicole to invite you. Don't wait for Caitlin to invite you. Just get out there and do it. And you know, this is advice that I gave my son as a young black man coming up. Don't wait for someone to hand you anything.
And people
get out there and do it.
People are going to miss the last 30 minutes of this conversation, and I really think that they need to go back and re-listen to it, because just what we were talking about empowerment and about what goes on in the women's class.
Mm-hmm.
If you start this back over at a little less than 45 minutes and you come to an hour and 10 and 55 seconds, listen to that. If you're a woman and you want to come to Queen's class, how can people get a hold of you if they have questions?
Messenger. Find me. I got extra geese.
So
love to
how do
have
they
you.
find you on Messenger? I mean, if you want to give out, it's up to you. I'm just
Absolutely.
putting it out there.
Yeah, just Megan Melber, Melber. And I'll talk your head off or I'll listen to you, whatever. But get in here. It's
Yep.
worth it.
Get in here. Come on. What else we got?
I'm pulling it up.
What else we got?
Let me make.
You're a producer, man.
Let me clear
You're not a
my
dope
throat.
producer like Dr. Dre.
Well,
You're just not. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
I'm working with what I got.
You're found with fault.
Do you want to go with the 50-year anniversary of the Martin King Jr. assassination?
Yes, man. Today, 50-year anniversary, assassination, Martin Luther King Jr.
So
That's crazy.
I was listening to NPR this morning, and this is probably going to it's going to polarize one way or the other. And NPR, as you know, is either left or middle, and I'm just
I hate left or middle.
I'm laying it out there.
Yeah, right.
Is they said that there are people in, you know.
Don't you dare say that there's people that think he wasn't assassinated.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
No. But the literal quote was that they are ready for life to get on, especially in summer.
So they're ready to stop this remembrance? This
That is
reverence for this
literally what
situation?
I heard this morning on NPR.
you could
If
be
I could find the quote, I would play it for you.
Meaning what? Just phrase it matter of fact. But what are they saying?
It was more or less, this is a date of remembrance, but how can we take this date of remembrance and move forward positively?
Well, I think that would be a question that they probably ask every year, you know, when we come back to this type of situation. But
I've never heard it been phrased this way, though.
devil's advocate, I guess people will picture and paint him in many different ways for his personal life versus his public life, right?
He got a lot done
He
with
did.
the law.
He did.
With the law, but
And
he
he
never was able to really truly change public opinion.
No, he was charismatic. You can't take that away.
He was.
And that's something that a lot of people at the time didn't possess.
I totally agree.
So that, I would say, did influence public opinion. I'm saying I think a lot of people will either say we're dealing with more these days. Let's take this as the platform to focus on how does it push into our issues of modern society, or they just are devil's advocate and, you know, taking it as let's talk about his personal life. And
I think everybody wants to play devil's advocate because they
Yeah.
want to be they want to have the story, they want to have the view or the angle or whatever it is.
What was going on in his personal life? You talking about
Martin Luther King Jr.?
you talking about like the adultery and
Yeah.
that stuff?
Which is, it's sad to say that that's commonplace, but at the time it wasn't. I mean, but that's the thing. It's the blinders. You know, how can I change a situation to be something that now I want to be upset or negative about?
But you know what? All that
and so
stuff,
they'll take that one thing.
all that stuff came out afterward. It didn't
It
matter
did.
what he did and what he got everybody to come to the nation's capital.
I just think it's a disappointing thing.
I mean,
to
he
do.
was the first million-man march, right? He truly was.
I
on
mean,
the
if you
nation's
want to think
capital.
of it like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
With
was
the amount of people.
first truly million-man march.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. If you look at the pictures back through, Getty Images, it wasn't all black people.
no.
No, it was a nice mix.
Martin
Good
Luther
old-
King Jr. united people. Well, you know what? Let me.
No, you.
Stay there.
He united.
Yeah, he
people.
united people. Period. I mean,
Yeah.
he united people of all races.
Because he didn't polarize
Yeah.
like a Louis Farrakhan
Yeah.
or
Yep.
or a Jesse Jackson. He literally, I think, brought the people together for a common good to fight a lawful cause.
Well,
like
the-
Donald Trump.
The reason, well, I'm not even going to start on that.
Big
the
Daddy
reason
D.
why, the reason why I said that.
You did this. You did this.
No, there's so much more about that later.
Hour and 15 minutes
I
in.
know. The reason why I said that was just because
Lord
I think
help
it's
us.
it's just kind of a travesty in the sense of there are many ways that we can remember this day, but for some reason it's still prevalent that people will take it and turn it into something that's an agenda, right? And take
Of
away
course.
and that's just, to me, that's what I'm saying is disappointing.
Well, I think what's disappointing for me, because I'm just a matter of fact type of guy. I look at
Lay
all.
that hammer down.
Well, I mean, it's just the truth. I look at all you sons of bitches, and I realize that you all wipe your ass with toilet paper. Everybody takes a shit. That's how I feel.
Single
about it.
ply though, I mean, you got to save money.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
Or leaves.
listen. Anybody,
not at all.
anybody who puts athletes, politicians, or anyone on a pedestal, and thinks that they walk a perfect, holier than thou life, is a retard. You would have to be absolutely retarded to think that just because someone does something positive, just because someone does something good, just because someone creates change, means that they're not without fault.
I
And
agree.
so for the simple fact, so when I hear somebody say, well, Martin Luther King Jr. cheated on his wife, I hear that, and without saying it, I just go, and I'm not saying that it's not right by any means, but just like with, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know you two don't like it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Donald Trump,
Yeah.
when people bring up the Stormy Daniels shit, I'm just like, really? That's all we can that's the only thing that he's doing that you can concentrate on is him banging a porn star, and I don't care. I don't care about that.
That's your personal life.
Yeah, but that's his personal life. I don't put him on a pedestal because he's a president. I fully believe that Bill Clinton got a blowjob. I fully believe
It
that,
was on the dress.
yeah, I fully believe that George Bush Sr. did something dirty. I believe that no good for nothing piece of Rudy Poo trash, Jimmy Carter, did bad things.
Just
Ronald
because he
Reagan,
took away your Saturdays.
just because he took away my Saturdays. But I mean, all kidding aside, I'm being serious.
John
Yeah.
F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy cheated. I mean, he had Marilyn Monroe. I mean, everybody.
That was like the least of his issues.
Yeah, but everybody. my point is, I'm more disappointed, not in the people who bring it up as a detraction to what he did well. I'm more disappointed in the people that buy into it. I'm more. That's what I'm.
And you're disappointed in a huge part of society.
I'm disappointed in a huge part of society. It is disappointing to me that someone would even buy it, would look at what Martin Luther King Jr. did and literally let someone else say, oh, well, he cheated on his wife, and even blink an eye.
Yeah.
That's disappointing to me. That at society, we're that damn shallow.
Well, think about who we have as our main points of interest these days.
Big Daddy D, Donald
Kardashians
Trump.
and
No,
all
no,
that
no, 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 no.
crap.
Damn the Kardashians.
I'm just saying.
Big Daddy D. We got to get to it. What's he doing?
Why?
What
why
is Big
he
Daddy
trying
D doing?
to militarize the border
We're
wall?
going to protect the border. What the fuck?
Let's just break that down, though. Did he say that he's going to protect the border wall with active duty forces or National Guard forces? Because that's two different arguments.
So they clarified it with National Guard.
Okay, I was going to say, legitimately the National Guard, that
you
is
cannot use the United States military
You can.
on their own. No.
You can by an act of Congress.
Yes.
That will not pass.
Which will not pass. Correct.
But you can.
But right out the gate, he can't.
Absolutely not. But hold on. And then he's going to shorten the wall. Weren't we going to build this wall just somehow all the way down the bottom
From the
freaking
window
part
to the wall.
of the whole entire United States? And now it's going to be like 800, however many miles.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can shorten it as long as you got the National Guard guarding the rest of it. I mean, it sort of makes sense. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just saying, if I'm going to protect this table.
Okay, hold on now.
If I'm going to
Let's
protect
think about
this table.
Let's use the National Guard resources that have already been taxed because now they're on the active duty deployment schedule and they don't get their downtime and they are actually doing longer deployments in some active duty elements because the specialization of National Guard soldiers, and I'm not being Brandon, don't get mad at me, it's my older brother. I'm not saying that active duty is not as talented with their job scope, but you have somebody who is in IT, you know, and then they're in the Guard at the same time. They have the specialization to do a job. They will get sent somewhere before an active duty soldier who may have one certification, right? So you're taxing already a source that is, it's not supposed to be used for that purpose. And then now you're going to say, no, you're going to go do this too.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. You're former military, right?
Yeah.
Nick, you're former military?
Yep.
You guys are also United States citizens, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You guys pay your taxes, right? For the most part?
Yes.
I get a refund every year.
Okay.
Oh, it must be nice.
So let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you two a question. And I'm going to let you answer individually. And your husband, excuse me, your boyfriend,
Your favorite human in the whole entire world.
he is my favorite human in the entire world. Your boyfriend is in the military, right?
He is.
National Guard?
He is.
Okay. All right. So your teammate, her boyfriend, is in the National Guard. Okay. Your ex-husband's in the military also, right?
He is.
National Guard?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you two a question you can answer individually. As a United States tax-paying citizen who have, because you have friends also that's in the National Guard,
Yep.
as both you guys having connections to the National Guard. And I think this is where Big Daddy D Donald Trump is probably going to go with this. Okay? Let's assume he gets reelected. Okay? Would you rather have, okay, your National Guard boyfriend and your friends and teammates standing down on that border protecting our southern border, or would you rather go ahead and kick your money, tax-paying dollars in, and build that wall? Those are your only two options. Take your pick.
No.
I'm asking the
Okay,
questions
all right.
because listen, he's the president of the United States.
Yeah.
And whether we like it or not, just like with the terrorists, whether we agree or not, he's going to do what he's going to do.
I'll be forced into answering
So I'm
this.
asking you, Megan, you
Yes.
go. Actually, no. It's your boyfriend. Nick, you go first. Would you rather have your teammates and your friends down on that southern border protecting our southern border and being actively deployed, or would you rather spend your tax dollars and go ahead and build that wall so they don't have to be down there?
Wall's not going to fucking work.
That's not what I asked you. I've asked you a direct answer. One of those two.
I'd rather have human beings down there.
You'd rather have the National Guard down there protecting the wall. I'm protecting the border than the wall put up.
Okay. Let's clarify this because this goes beyond just protecting
I could have sworn.
a wall.
Can you rewind it on YouTube? I'm
I
pretty
really
sure I
wish I could.
clarified it. I'm pretty
You
sure I
did.
clarified it.
But
No,
Caveat.
You cannot.
Caveat.
It's not that simple.
caveat.
You can't just build this wall
Well, but we're just we're playing. We're just
because people are still going
scenario.
to climb over the wall and
and
who's
dig
gonna-
under the wall.
And who's going to build the fucking wall?
Fast and Furious told me there's a cave system. I mean, come on. They're gonna fly a car.
Okay, look,
through
we're
the
putting the
wall.
National Guard down there. But we're putting the National Guard down there, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I'm no military dude. But if you're a military person and you're told to protect a line,
All right.
Yep.
Now, hold on, wait a minute, stop.
No, I need to jump in because I need to tell you about the job that the National Guard has. National Guard is regular working citizens that are called up to active duty for their specialties in times of war. We cannot afford to have those people called up to protect the border when they have a more important job to do, when we could just hire more border security to do the job with autonomous drones and things that do not cost manpower. Because when we need to call up people from the National Guard, from their actual jobs, we need them to bring their specialties with them.
Yeah.
And we can't have them just sitting down fucking guarding a piece of dirt when see this is the disconnect that people don't understand about the Guard is these people have normal jobs.
No, Nick, this is the disconnect that the President of the United States has about the Guard.
And
Yeah.
you love Big Daddy Donald D.
I do. It's funny as hell. Now I'm asking you again because you act like what you're saying hasn't already been said to him and won't be said to him when he goes ahead and sends the National Guard down there.
People just don't understand.
Okay, no, they do understand. They
don't.
understand
They
it.
don't.
Nick, you understand and people understand. The President of the United States understands, but he's going to send their asses down there to protect that border, or you're going to help build that wall with your tax dollars. Now take your pick. Which is it? I asked you a direct question.
I'm gonna subsidize the National Guard anyway with my tax dollars.
Okay, so you'd rather have a National Guard down there. That's your answer.
No.
So you'd rather pay for the wall.
No.
Okay, well, you got to do one of the two.
No. There's not one
Okay,
of the
all right,
two.
okay. All right, you don't count. You forfeited your vote. Your vote's null
All
and
right,
void.
fine.
Megan,
I'm gonna waste that money on a wall versus human resources.
okay.
Because the value add of those people, like you said, leaving their homes and their jobs, and honestly, the training that you do 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, maybe more, and it has been extended now that they're doing a little bit more training. But their value within the state that they live in, and you have to think too, you have certain commands that are in different states, certain specialties that rely or that are within certain states. So you would take that group of people, like you said, with a specific skill set and then waste it. So if we're wasting money, I'm wasting it on material, not people.
Okay, so then let me ask you to another question. Okay, and hopefully you both can actually answer the damn question, Mr. 2020 presidential elect. Okay, for the damn Democratic Party.
Nick
Okay.
for president.
So, as military soldiers, former military soldiers, answer me this, and I was not in the military. I'm asking this because I want to know, and viewers out there listening, they probably would like to know too. If you're been in the National Guard, which you was in the National Guard,
Yes.
you was in the Navy, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you guys are in the Navy, National Guard, and Big Daddy D, Donald Trump, in July says, all right, National Guard's going down there and the Navy's going down there to protect the southern border. And you're putting
gonna float outside of
you're
Texas.
You're going to float outside of Texas, all right? So you float
I wasn't on a boat much.
You're out there in the boat floating, all right? Well, yeah, you wasn't on a boat. But, so you guys are given the job of protecting the border. And I know probably with military orders, there's probably a whole lot of details in here that normal citizens like myself just wouldn't understand, rules of engagement, all that stuff, blah, blah,
Sure.
blah. But they tell you, protect that door.
Yeah,
That door right there.
that's a big door.
That's a big door. That's the southern border that door is.
Uh-huh.
I'm Big Daddy D, okay, by the way. So I tell you to protect that door, that border right there. Right there. That's your job, right?
Right.
Don't let anyone come through that door. Don't let anyone cross over that border.
What kind of weapon and how much ammunition do I have?
Is that that's
Please
my
tell
question.
me my shift is not 12 hours.
No, wait a minute. No, seriously. As a everyday citizen, that's my question.
Yeah.
That's my question. If we put our National Guard down on that border and people attempt to cross that border, what are we doing?
So let me go ahead.
Yeah, let her go first
Go.
because you shit on me last time. So and then I'm gonna come back to you.
The
Seriously.
thing that I've realized that's actually a little bit crazy is, and this is not speaking for anybody else, it's just observation. people tend to be a little bit more angry against their own, right? So I'm not saying that we're going to have U.S. citizens who somehow got caught in Mexico jumping over the wall to come back in the U.S., but you just tend to be a little bit more aggressive than you need to be. And so I think a lot of, and I'm saying this from experience of understanding stories of guard soldiers deployed to go down for Katrina, just helping with security in neighborhoods and getting people where they need to go. And they withstood a little bit more backlash than some of them did on deployments. So that's a little bit of a concern of something else that they may not have signed up for. But
so again, but let me ask you, as a citizen, I need clarification to the best of both of your understanding. You're given the job, our National Guardsmen are given a job of protecting our southern border. Do not let, what did he say? Do not let them bad hombres. Do not let those, ain't that what he said?
Yeah,
did he call hombres? Do not let the hombres come over.
yeah, then don't let them come over. That's your job.
And we all know as human beings that if you are wanting to get over here for a better life, you're going to try to come across that border, whether there's a wall, whether there's National Guard,
any way that you can,
and you're going to try to do it any way you can. So my question is, our National Guardsmen, are they being sent down there do you think they're being sent down there and told, if someone tries to cross this border, finish, what do they do?
Okay. I'm not. I don't know. There's definitely proper rules of engagement, but at that point in time, when there's not an active threat to their life and they're not an enemy combatant, there's not going to be shoot to kill on sight type situations.
So what do you let them? Just let them come on over?
No, you detain them and you send them back.
And you're
so then you're taking even more soldiers, because you're going to have the ones standing at the wall, then you're going to have the ones working the checkpoint. Then you're going to have the ones who are responsible for transportation, and then the ones who are responsible for all the paperwork.
Okay. Now, do you agree with that answer? Pretty much that it's not going to be that if it's going to be protect the southern border, but at the same time there's certain rules of engagement. Blah 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 blah.
Is.
Okay. All right.
We haven't declared war on Mexico.
No,
right.
We have no need to use deadly force.
There's no need to use deadly force.
Unless attacked, blah, blah, blah.
Unless you're...
you're in a perilous situation.
Correct. So, number one, you got to think about if you're removing an IT specialist to go serve in the Guard that has limited combat duty and maybe fires a weapon 3 times a year. Whereas if I can take... a Marine that has fought in numerous wars and has the readiness factor of the wartime mentality, which one do you want down there protecting your wall?
Well, then you have to go through rotation of capability.
That is where I was going to.
So are you saying that if you was president of the United States in 2020, if we elected Nick Licari as the president, are you saying... Are you saying that if you had to protect the southern border, you would put military, combat-ready troops or former service personnel, private sector on the border, as opposed to what he's...
I'm saying that if you put combat-ready or combat-hardened people, then you are going to get combat.
Okay, so why not put the National Guard down there, who you're saying may not always be as...
Then you're going to get people that are not put in that position every day and are not in a law enforcement position, and you're asking somebody that does an IT job to be put in a law enforcement position that they're not put in every day, and to interpret the law, to enforce the law, and then to either detain or bring back to where they go before a judge and jury, or a judge says, and this is what's got to be done, and then all you're doing is rinsing and repeating of catching people at the border, taking them to court, cycling them back down, and then they're going to try to escape again.
But now, correct me if I'm wrong.
The bigger issue here is, how do we get people stop leaving Mexico to come up here?
Okay, well let me ask you this. Between the three of us, Because you said a law enforcement situation. You're asking National Guardsmen to be, and you're right. I
This is
agree
law
with you.
enforcement.
I agree with you. I agree with you to a degree. But here's my
This
point.
is not war.
But hold on.
War is not law enforcement.
Okay, but wait a minute. Hold on. There's war, okay, and there's law enforcement, which I agree with you. But then, you two correct me if I'm wrong. The way Big Daddy D is relating this and regurgitating this to the public is, wait a minute. He's
Convoluted at the best.
He's saying, hold on. He's saying that the southern border is a threat to our national security. Correct? Which
That is what he's saying,
which our local law enforcement, according to Big Daddy D, has proven incapable of regulating this situation. Now, I'm telling you what he's saying. This isn't me. I don't live in Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what he's saying. He's saying they're incapable of doing it, and my solution is to build this big, glorious, that's Bobby Roode, WrestleMania, glorious.
It's still happening.
Okay? All right? That's what he's saying. I'm going to build this glorious wall.
Sure.
And everybody else is saying, and let's be fair, 90% of the country doesn't have experience with what the hell's going on down on that border.
You're right.
Okay? He's saying he's going to build a wall to take care of this, and everybody in the country, for the most part, is saying, you're an idiot. No, you're not. And he's saying, yes, I am. So now he's saying, since he couldn't get it passed through, since you're not going to give me the money to build this wall, here's what I'll do. I'll deploy your boyfriend.
Well, see, we forgot the point earlier of what you guys were talking about, that there's going to be what's called, it's not necessarily his terminology, but it's a needs assessment for what type of soldier you need. And that's what I was saying, that you have different states that have different specialties and they train differently. There's definitely generics as a soldier that you learn, but you stick to what you know, so you're good at your job. And so we're not necessarily going to be sending geeky IT specialist or, somebody in human resources to go down and do a job that they're not capable of.
But every soldier carries a gun.
They do.
Every soldier is an infantryman.
Absolutely. But we have the ability right now with the numbers to send the type of soldier that needs to go at the beginning. So now the thing is you go into a cycle where how many and how often and how long?
I had a
Which is not military. This is civilian law enforcement.
I had a friend, proposed to me, interesting situation. He hit on everything that you guys have said.
Okay.
And I don't know anything about military. You guys,
you probably know a lot more than you think.
I forfeit to you. Okay. But one of my buddies said everything that you guys said, and he said this. He said Congress is not going to pass the wall. Okay. Not because of their moral indifferences. Okay. They're not going to pass the wall because of money.
Yeah.
And he said that this is nothing more. This is going all the way back to what you guys said at the beginning. This is nothing more. Man, I mean, he hit everything you guys said. Okay, the assessment of troops and all that. He said that we do not have enough troops in the National Guard that are built for that type of duty.
Correct.
And he also said that the human element is going to come into factor. The people trying to cross over are not going to stop trying to cross over. And that eventually what's going to happen is somebody trying to cross over, rather it is a legitimate person trying to get their family over here for a better life, or rather it is drug cartel and the bad hombres that Big Daddy D talked about, and skirmishes are going to start breaking out on the southern border, and that the National Guard's not going to be able to handle it. Hold on. Okay, just hold on. Just let me finish what he said. Okay, I'm just telling you what I was told. And he said Congress is still not going to build that wall. And going back to what you said at the beginning, but that is when Donald Trump, at probably about 2021, 2022, when these skirmishes break out and he can manipulate the media, because some National Guardsmen or a couple National Guardsmen get killed, that then he will be able to convince Congress to activate the military to be on our southern border.
That
now,
means we have to declare war on Mexico.
I'm just telling you what was told to me. Now, don't get mad at me, man. I'm just the messenger. Damn. And this is my podcast. You can't talk to me any old way you want to.
saying.
Lean over here with your tattoos and shit like you tough, man.
He's leaning
Cauliflower ear all over the damn place.
He's leaning in.
I'm just saying. This is a God. What was that movie with damn Denzel Washington when they put the damn president in office?
Military's gonna get a patch out of this one. That's how the Red Bulls got theirs in World War One.
I mean, this is a scary scenario. When you hear and all that leader of the free world shit, I don't buy into that. Okay, I don't buy into that the president of the United States has got to be the leader of the free world. I'm concerned about asses. I'm concerned about American citizens. I'm concerned about the rest of the world saying one day, you know what? We've had enough of this shit.
There's only so
much that you can say and do. This guy is going.
He's pushing it beyond.
He's pushing it. He's pushing it. I mean, even, like I look at the North Korea thing. When you've got South Korea talking to North Korea, and you've insulted North Korea to the point that they will talk to their enemy,
right?
That they've hated forever. When you've got then China saying, well, you're about to come over and talk to him, but guess what, buddy? You ain't going to bully him because we're going to be sitting there. When you've got Russia coming out and saying, hey, dude, you may think you're tough, but we will blow you off the face of the earth, and here's the map showing how we can hit Miami. When you've pissed off three-quarters of Europe, when you've pissed off Africa, when you pissed off the entire continent of Africa, you've perturbed them, and then you look and you think about the chance, whether you want to admit it or not. He got elected in 2016, and the way he did it by manipulating rural United States of America, he can get reelected again in 2020. I don't give a damn what anybody says. You can get The Rock, Oprah Winfrey, Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, get all of them to run against him at one. He can still get reelected. This is some scary shit. The Manchurian candidate. That's what this reminds me of. Yes. It's scary. It's getting scary.
It is.
And there's some things he does. He's so damn sly and slick. Sometimes he does things and you actually, unless you just got blinders and you're just like, well, I'm just a hater and I just hate him. Sometimes he does things and you're like, you know what? Maybe you're on the right track, dude. But then he turns right around and it's like he's got this idea. It's like he just wants to cause chaos. Literal chaos.
The thing that's crazy is a lot of the things that he does, you'll start to see the social aspects of something else at the same time, so you actually miss some of the legislation he's trying to pass or some of the things he's trying to sneak in. Correct. And that's the part that I know the intention is there more than most people will give him credit for. You're putting up a freaking smokescreen, and that's happened to us many times.
Attention. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what.
So what's the answer?
People have to wake the fuck up is the answer.
Well, we can wake the fuck up, but until he's not sitting in the White House, there's not much that we can change.
I mean, he's just one man. He's still got to go through Congress. He's still got to go through the House.
He is one man, but he is one loud, annoying man.
He is one, yes.
Just awful.
Listen.
People laugh at us.
There's one thing. Listen, there's one thing about Congress that will always remain true.
Okay.
If you can convince Congress that the people, the majority, are against them, they will switch like damn bees on honey.
Nick,
they'll flip quick.
Just bring that thing over here.
They will.
Bees on honey?
They will flip.
He did.
Yeah, they will flip quick. Congress will.
Yeah.
They're the one group that just, and again he manipulates rural America so well.
I don't even think it was a manipulation. I honestly think it was just somebody sounds like us.
Yes.
Somebody has our same viewpoints.
We saw him
Finally.
on TV. He said, "You're fired."
Finally,
I like that guy.
He's brash and he's out there, so let's follow him.
let's fucking vote for this guy. He's got hair.
I mean, I can't say, and just kind of a funny thing like that about the people, because you have all different types of individuals that voted for him.
That's the fucking crazy part.
You had a choice between somebody who is a liar at a ridiculous federal level.
And a narcolepsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, or, well, okay, let's go back to that. She had nothing else going on, so we're talking about the fact that she falls asleep randomly. There's more things she fucked up that we could have talked about, but they focused on the fact that she passed out randomly.
Of course.
But you know what's bad?
Yeah.
Unless the Democrat, and this was my point when I told you guys in Atlanta that I feel like he'll get reelected. Unless the Democratic Party puts somebody out there, I'm just calling it like it is. Unless they put somebody out there that has no political affiliation, no political ties, like Donald Trump on the surface, it's going to be a repeat. Because whoever you put out there that's already in politics, he's going to make them look just like Hillary.
That's because this whole two-party system's a fucking joke.
And the reason is this: politicians are crooked.
Yeah.
It don't matter who you put. If you can pick anybody from the other side, and he's going to run them to the people that voted for him. He's going to make them look just like Hillary. He's going to be able to make and it's going to be the truth. That's the bad thing. He's going to be telling the truth.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
I mean, he's going to be telling the truth. So unless you, man, like, it pains me to even say some shit like this. Unless you put literally a ticket together of Oprah Winfrey and The Rock, he's going to win again.
I swear to God, if The Rock.
And if he gets in a second term, could you imagine the foolishness that would? We would have a blast on the podcast. Sort of. Well, we might get a literal blast. But think about that for a minute.
Yeah, of course.
If he had, because look, everybody knows with the president of the United States, our system is so set and it's so just repetitive.
Really the voter or the electoral college? I mean, let's be real.
Well, I mean, we know
we're not going to even get into the electoral
yeah,
college.
I'm sorry.
We can't get into that. But we know that with a president, that the first 4 years is just a testing out phase. That's what it is.
Wasn't
it's
the
just
first, like,
and then the last 4 is a lame duck.
Freaking months for him a testing out phase? Jesus Christ.
No.
I mean, he
didn't say nothing. Let him get another 4. Let him get 2020. Let him hit 2000. Let him get reelected in 2020, and then that's when you'll see the real stuff.
He's gonna. I hope. Never mind.
I think I'm going to move to New Zealand.
No, you're not.
Can you move the school to New Zealand so we can train there?
You know what, man? I would love to go to New Zealand, Australia. And do a seminar. I would love that.
John Wayne Leg.
Anyone.
If you're watching, let us know. I got the hookup.
All right. Well, you guys want to move on from Big D?
You know, I say that every time you laugh and you sit back with that prideful shoulders and you're like, Big Donald Daddy D, whatever you're going to say. Yes. I want you to move on right after you say that.
So why did The Undertaker disappear?
Dude, The Undertaker.
You still didn't answer my question from earlier.
Hush.
What?
No, but we'll do this one first.
The Undertaker. Have you did your research on The Undertaker? Do you know who
he was my favorite character when I actually watched.
So you actually know who The Undertaker is?
I do know who The Undertaker is.
I'm so proud of her right now. Like,
who was The Undertaker's brother?
Okay, don't. I was 12 or something. I don't know.
You don't know who The Undertaker's brother is?
And no one else in my house watched it. So I'm in the corner upstairs like, don't turn the TV off. I don't want to get in trouble because I'm watching this.
Who was your favorite WWE? The Undertaker?
The Undertaker was my favorite.
Who was your favorite WWE wrestler growing up? Or did you even like the WWE?
No, NWA. Rock and Roll Express, all the way.
Did you say NWA?
Yeah, I met those guys. I used to work for Ric Flair, too, by the way. So just.
I was like NWA, like the rap group? NWA?
No. The Rock and Roll Express.
I was like, where are we going?
Robert Gibson? No, nobody?
Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express.
Nope, sorry. Nope. Mm-mm.
Those were
You've aged
the
me.
fucking men.
Are you serious right now?
Every Saturday morning, when that theme song would play, I'd get so fucking pumped. It was them and the Four Horsemen. And then, of course, working for Ric Flair. Then I learned that. The Four Horsemen.
I don't know what's happening.
You don't know who Ric Flair is?
I do.
Woo!
If you want to come down here.
Do you know? No, don't do that again. Do you know who? Do you know who the Four Horsemen are?
Woo!
What?
No.
You don't know who Arn Anderson is. Holy shit.
No.
All right, I'm taking you off camera.
That'd be fun. I'm eating M&M's
Can
anyway.
you just be the ghost voice?
Hello.
The voice of God. You really don't know who the Four Horsemen are?
I can't, nope. I know 4 horsemen as in shots of alcohol. That's all I got.
Wow.
You asked me to come.
Do you know
back.
who the Road Warriors are?
No.
You have brought this podcast
To its knees.
to its knees.
I don't even know what to say.
That was my purpose all along.
Do you know who?
Brock Lesnar is?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Let's go.
The second greatest UFC fighter that's ever lived.
Do you know who Superfly Jimmy Snuka is?
No.
Do you know who the Ultimate Warrior is? Do you-
Sting?
Yes.
Oh gosh. Do you,
Okay.
Goldberg.
No.
What?
No.
What? This is impossible. Who hired her?
You too.
You!
And you.
Well, yeah. All right. You're fired.
I will take my M&Ms and go home. Thank you, sir.
I think he fired me.
How does that work?
I don't know.
You have a personality.
Oh,
Oh,
I was trying to bring up YouTube.
man,
with
what
the
do we do? I mean, what?
Road Warriors.
Oh.
So what?
You have stuff to study up on before next week.
You
because
didn't sign
WrestleMania
up for
be over.
homework.
You-
I didn't sign up for homework.
You didn't?
Uh-uh.
You was born in Tennessee, right?
I was born in Texas.
Well, it's a tease.
Okay, wait a minute. Didn't you live in Tennessee?
Yeah, for a while.
Can
How
you
long?
sing Rocky Top?
Stop it. I can.
Of course she can. She's a woman of integrity. Listen, so
Today.
you so you live. How long do you live in Tennessee?
Like 15 years.
Holy shit! How
How
old
could
are
you not? How could you not know who the Road
You're
Warriors
like
are?
30 years old.
I was like running around in neon green freaking jelly shoes, just figuring it out. I don't know.
Okay, wait a minute. Stop.
Wait.
Stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's pro wrestling right there.
Yeah, I know, but okay, wait, we got a problem. How do you know who Sting is?
That is the Ultimate Warrior right there.
No, listen. How does she know who Sting is, but doesn't know who the
We
Road
were talking
Warriors?
about Sting, like the artist,
No.
like the musical artist.
Oh god.
Are you kidding right now?
No.
Are we live still?
Yeah.
Yes. Were you gonna start singing Fields of Plenty?
I just really wanted you to know that I was
Please tell me no one's watching.
I was cultured.
I hope they're not now because
Now I hope we have 0 viewers.
now
I'm worried.
I hope we have
viewers.
10. We double
we
our
have like 14.
because I'm honest.
We have what?
14.
Perfect.
If you're watching, I want to apologize to all our viewers right now.
I'm naive and
She
young
was-
and
she
a
was-
white belt. And
She was sheltered. Yeah, she's a white belt.
I have no
she's
idea.
a white belt. This, I mean, look. Okay, actually, he hired her.
it was a. We can
Don't-
replay from
nobody
last
show
week.
me.
It was a genuine double arms up from both people. She's hired.
It was. Nikita Koloff, Dusty Rhodes, and Paul Ellering.
The name Dusty just makes it.
Yeah, let's see if we can get this on here. We can get YouTube to copyright us.
No, don't do that. 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 Don't
No.
do that. No. She's not ready for that. Trust
I'm
me.
not ready for a lot of this. I mean, there's
No.
just so much
The Road Warriors versus
Okay.
King Kong Bundy and Jerry
stretchy
Blackwell.
spandex and weird
Guys,
blood and
that's
sweat.
November
And it's just
22nd,
like
1980.
what?
What do you mean weird blood?
Real blood.
Oh, okay, real. Okay.
I do remember watching the transition when I believe there wasn't any blood
No,
at
that's
the
when they used to
beginning.
cut. They used to
And
kick
then
the
it
razor
went in,
blades.
yeah, and then it went into where there actually was, and I was like, oh god, I can't watch this anymore. It's so violent.
Questions from the public. Welcome to our next scenario of the show, our next scene of the show. Questions from the public. Should I be
Furrowed.
censored?
You just-
Number one,
A
should
lot.
I be censored?
What
What does that mean? Should I be censored?
Keith Richardson said, "Should
well,
should
you
I be
told me
censored?"
I'm not supposed to read names.
One other
No.
particular
Only
name.
on like
that particular name.
that type of question. Like last week, that was
Well,
asked.
you knew that and I didn't.
Like you're confused, dude. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't have got that.
You. My bad.
Think outside the box, Nick. Come on.
I only see circles.
So Keith Richardson asked, should I be, actually he didn't say me as in Michael Allen. He said, should the bread be censored in order to
no.
keep peace in the community? That's what I say. Thank you. Thank you. Very quick answer, very quick discussion. It's really not even really open for discussion, but we was nice enough to ask your question, even though you're only like 4 foot tall. So
Serious grappling gets serious.
yeah.
Do you want to lay down that shit?
I mean, April 27th,
24th,
28th,
28th.
April 28th. It's going down. Serious grappling, Little River, South Carolina. Those guys are they're not playing. They're not playing. They got an 8-man purple belt tournament, or
They're
maybe
not
it's a
fucking around.
8-man purple belt tournament.
It's a 6-man right now.
Was it 6-man?
Last time I looked, I thought it was. You might be right.
Oh man, you know that bothers me. Yeah, I told them they need to do 8-man. I mean, let's think about this. You can't do even brackets.
I was just going to say the same thing.
And I told him that. Why would you not just find 2 more purple belts?
They may have.
I'm
I will look and we'll clarify that tomorrow.
I hope so. Because
it would make sense to do
there's
4
nothing
4.
more. There's nothing more just aggravating.
Having uneven. Yes.
Having uneven brackets. Somebody gets a bye. That's just bullshit.
It is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
UFC 223, Holloway versus Khabib. So,
main topic of the night.
I seriously am not. I was driving and I decided I'm going to drive in the morning the next day because I can't miss those fights.
Wait. So Tony Ferguson is out.
He's out.
In case everybody know, he hurt his knee, I believe.
Can you believe that?
His knee a week before. So
I can.
This is my question.
I can.
Interim title.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an interim title? What do you do?
They stripped him of the interim title.
I know, but now, what do you got to do? You got
this is for the undisputed title. They stripped Conor. They stripped Conor McGregor.
When did they strip Conor?
They stripped Conor McGregor
of
the actual belt, and now they stripped Dipstick of the damn. I mean, I call him Dipstick because who the fuck? What the fuck are you doing the week before to hurt your knee?
Yeah.
No, honestly, I mean, you're getting ready for a fight with Khabib.
Fuck that.
That's a scary man.
I don't give a shit.
That's a scary man.
And you get hurt.
I don't give a damn.
Do you think you should lose your interim belt?
Number one, I don't think he should have had it in the first place.
I agree with you on that. But
that was retarded.
But now that he has it, he should have just lost it because he got hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
So how is it that Max Holloway was the step in? Like how did they go through that?
He was the next one.
Okay.
No.
Rank?
No.
That's why I was curious.
No.
Come on.
Hey, I gotta understand this.
Max is the 45-pound champion. Okay.
Who else was going to step up and fight Khabib?
Well, that's the problem.
Was Conor?
Obviously, no. Conor was never fighting again. He's never fighting.
No, fancy bow ties on and making documentaries.
Conor's not fighting.
It's on Netflix.
Did you watch
Have you
that?
seen it?
I haven't seen it
watched
yet.
it.
Is it good?
He's been filming himself since before he even had a chance. That's what's crazy about it. You watch it.
He made himself great. He willed himself.
He willed himself to be great because there is literal footage of him as if he is a star when he was first starting out, and it's just like mind-boggling how he knew. I thought it was good. It was entertaining.
Okay.
It's worth it.
All right.
Give it, however long it is.
Back to Ferguson and Khabib. Habib.
No, Holloway and Khabib.
Holloway and Khabib.
I'm saying Khabib now all the way. I do not see Holloway. I love Max, but I just don't see him putting up a defense against Nurmagomedov.
What about you?
Nurmagomedov.
No, we call him Nurmagomedov.
We call him Nurmagomedov on this podcast. Habib Nurmagomedov.
I mean, I'm not technical with what I say, but
anybody else
Khabib
out there, chime in. This is your chance.
Khabib
Get on the show.
Kind of horrifying as far as his talent and his ability to smash. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch, but I think Khabib's going to take it.
You know what I think? I think this is a trap.
Everybody's a trap.
You think that John Jones is going to jump out and beat everybody?
Nope.
He's going to whip Max Holloway and Khabib.
High on life
what I
and
think?
just get out there.
I think that this is a Frankie Edgar, Brian Ortega situation.
Ooh.
And I think that if Nurma and his team is not careful and smart, I think that Nurma is about to get knocked the fuck out.
So if that happens
in the first round.
Wow. First round.
I can see that happening.
And I'm going to tell you
only in the first round though.
I'm going to tell you why. Max Holloway fights long. and
He's a
he
counterpuncher.
and he fights really well with his jab, and he has really good boxing. And I think that the moment he lands the first jab, he is going to follow with a damn with a. I think he's going to go jab, lead, hook, and I think he's going to stun him, and he's going to land the two from hell.
That kick, yeah.
I mean, I got a bad feeling about this. I have a really, I don't like this. Like, let me tell you what I don't like. I don't like the fact that Nurma is literally 120 something, whatever the fuck his record is, and
Yeah.
and he
25-0.
and he has never, he
lost to a bear.
Hold on, he has never really been put into the forefront. I'm talking about. Listen, usually if you run off 4 wins in the UFC, you're in the title picture.
I know where you're going.
And Nurma is one of those guys that
So you think that you think that he was given soft targets up
No.
until this point?
No, I'm thinking. Just hear me out. The UFC is about money.
No,
Of course,
Dana White is about money.
of course.
Dana White is about strong markets. Nurma, there's one thing in MMA. Russians are tough to deal with.
Yes.
And there's no upside to having him as the UFC champion. It's not like Jose Aldo winning the title and you get to go back to Brazil and you get to make all this money in Brazil. You're not doing that in Russia. It's not happening.
No,
I'm not saying you can't go, but you're not going to go over there and get all the money.
But he is not living in Russia anymore. Correct?
I don't care. And it's as much as people like Nurma, as much as people think he's cool because he's 24, 25 and 0, he's one of those guys that the moment he loses, he's not cool anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like GSP. GSP could lose, and everybody in Canada would be fight. I mean, look, GSP lost his title, and the rematch was in fucking Canada. Think about that for a second.
He has a lot of influence.
Do you see my point?
Yeah.
Okay, Nurma just doesn't have that pull, that draw. It's not happening. And I just
He definitely is not as
there's
polarizing.
some
That's the UFC's fault.
well no but
They
hold on.
could have done this.
Nah, it's not
They-
it's not the UFC's
It's the
fault.
personality of the fighter, too.
Listen, when listen to me.
It is.
Hold on, guys. Listen to me for a second.
As a promoter, you know this though.
Well, if you'll let me finish, I'll tell you what I know as a promoter.
Sorry.
When Cain Velasquez got hurt,
exactly.
they lost the country of Mexico.
Yes.
When GSP got hurt, they lost the country of Canada.
For one fight.
Nurma. No, I'm talking about when he retired, when he stopped. When
okay, I got
GSP, this is a fact. You can go back and look at the UFC pay-per-views in
you're right,
Canada.
you're right.
Their market in Canada dropped. There was no more of those days of going to Canada and it's a sellout because GSP's on the card.
Right.
Even Rory McDonald is the perfect example.
Yes.
They tried to go back to Canada with Rory McDonald and it just didn't hit
failed.
like it did with GSP.
Yep.
Nurma doesn't hit in Russia because it's Russia. You're not going over to freaking Russia. And here's my point. Nurma, he's 25 and 0, right? Mm-hmm. When Conor McGregor was the champion, what was his record?
I don't know.
23 and 0, 22 and 0,
No, 22 and 1.
No, he's never lost. Nurma's never lost.
Oh, no, you said Connor.
You
No,
said
what
Conor.
was Nurma's record when Conor McGregor was the champion?
22 and 0.
Okay, 22 and 0. Why wasn't he given the fight then? When he was 20 and 0, why
Because
wasn't
they were too busy.
No,
they were
listen
too
to me.
busy building the brand.
No, listen to
Conor
me.
McGregor.
When he was 20 and 0, why wasn't he given the fight then? When he was 19 and 0, why wasn't he given? If Nick Lacaria goes into the UFC tomorrow and you run off 4 fights, 5 fights in a row, winning, you're getting a title shot. My point is, they don't want him to be champion.
In that way,
and
bracket,
it is. Look at, again. We're talking about markets. We're talking about money. I'm not just talking about fighting. I'm talking about money and markets. Conor McGregor is Ireland. GSP is Canada. Jose Aldo and Anderson Silva is Brazil. Cain Velasquez, listen to
so
me.
much bigger than Ireland.
Cain Velasquez is Mexico. Okay. Nurma is Russia, but you ain't getting the Russian market. They don't want him to be champion, and this is awful suspicious that Max Holloway. Hold on,
I
Max
agree.
Holloway got fought. Remember,
I agree.
Brian Ortega, or not Brian Ortega. Frankie Edgar was supposed to fight Max Holloway less than a month ago,
It's the
and
same
Max
reason-
Holloway
yes.
couldn't fight.
It's the same
Remember?
reason that
Yeah.
Fedor
Remember?
never got into
the UFC. Russia it is historical knowledge and fact in promotions and MMA that Russia is tough to deal with. It's a market you just can't break into without having to deal with the mob. They don't want Khabib to be the champion, and it is awful damn suspicious.
But he's not controlled by the mob like Fedor is.
He's not. Maybe, I don't know. I don't believe that. But the country of Russia
He's
is.
Dagestan.
It doesn't matter about Khabib. I'm talking about the country of Russia. You're not getting in. There's no
This is what I want to
benefit.
ask. This is what I want to ask.
Let me finish. There's no benefit.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
We'll plan this.
Okay, good.
So, if you are a promoter and if you are bringing a Russian fighter and if you weren't having it in Moscow or St. Petersburg, what would you do?
If I was a what now?
If you're a promoter and you're bringing someone like Khabib back and you have the chance to do it in Moscow or St. Petersburg or somewhere else, where would you go?
It's not happening.
Why?
I just told you. Because in Russia, you have to deal with the mob. It's not happening. That's my point. There's no upside to Khabib being the champion. If you put my point a minute ago, when Conor McGregor was the champion at 155, who was the top dog in 155 outside of Conor McGregor? Who was the best 155er in the 155-pound division outside of Conor McGregor? I'll tell you, Nurma. Did they give Nurma the next shot?
No.
Thank you. That's my point. They don't want him to be champion. And it's awful suspicious. It's awful. There's one thing that offsets really good wrestling. That's really good boxing. And Max Holloway has really good boxing. And he is big for a 145. He's big for a 155. You heard George Lockhart, his nutritionist, say he's having a tough time making 155. Now, they will lead you to believe that that's because it's short notice. I don't buy this shit.
He walks around in like 205.
Listen, just less than a month ago, let me remind you again, he was supposed to defend his title against Frankie Edgar and was hurt.
Yeah.
He couldn't. He was too hurt to fight Frankie Edgar. Now all of a sudden, 3 weeks later, Tony Ferguson mysteriously gets hurt the week of the fight, and Max Holloway. Hold on, how many other 155-pounders are there in the UFC right now?
6.
No. I'm talking about on the damn roster.
3.
On the roster? On the entire UFC roster?
On the
60, 70?
60, 70, yeah.
You're gonna try to sit here and tell me with a straight damn face that there was no other 155-pounder that would take this fight. The only person that would do it is the 145-pound champion who was hurt 3 weeks ago and couldn't defend his own title. Now all of a sudden he's mysteriously healed, bigger than usual, and ready to go to fight Nurma. I don't buy it. I just don't believe it.
So you think this is a setup?
I think the UFC is grasping across a football field to try to have somebody get Listen, I'll tell you this. If he loses, he'll go to the back of the line.
Yes, he should.
Well, no, I don't agree with that. I don't think he should.
Nurma or
Nurma. If he loses this title shot, if he loses, his ass will go to the back of the line. Watch.
What happened to?
You know who'll be fighting next? Mark my words. If Max Holloway wins, you know who'll be fighting next?
Tony Ferguson.
Nope. Conor McGregor. He'll come back.
What?
That's how you get Conor McGregor. Listen, Conor McGregor's not going to fight as long as he has to fight Nurma. He's too damn smart.
But he's got.
He's not going to fight Nurma.
If Floyd comes back and they have this.
Who?
Floyd is supposed to come into the UFC.
Okay,
and
but
fight.
yeah, that's fine. But Floyd has nothing to do with the title picture.
No, it doesn't. But it has to do with the money picture.
Right, but I'm talking about. But now I'm talking about the title. Now I'm switching to the title.
Okay.
Because if Max Holloway was to win the title, if Nurma is the champion, you can cancel Conor McGregor forever unless you do a trilogy fight with Nate Diaz. Which, by the way, I want you guys to think about something.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson got hurt, did they offer the fight to Nate Diaz?
Nope.
Nope.
There you go.
Not that we know of.
Hold on, wait a minute. Stop. Did they offer the fight? Did they say, okay, well, I'll tell you what, since he's hurt and he can't do this, we'll just drop the title. Rafael dos Anjos, do you want to do a catch weight? Come back down towards 55? Donald Cerrone, do you want to fight?
Nope.
Gregor Gillespie, who I'm telling you is the only 155-pounder that will put Nurma on his back and does have wrestling-wise a strong chance to beat him. But did they ask any of these 55-pounders?
Yeah.
You, all of a sudden, the 45-pound champion who was just hurt and couldn't defend his damn belt, you're telling me he's the only fucking one? I don't buy it. I mean, it just reeks. It reeks of Dana White and his shenanigans. Just like when GSP got knocked out by Matt Serra, and the next damn thing you know, GSP gets an automatic rematch, and it's in Canada. What? Really? Are you serious?
Well, it's money.
I mean, it's
money.
Then that leads me to ask why Joanna gets a second shot.
Who?
Joanna. Young Jacek.
Oh, we have to save that for another day.
Yeah.
We write that down for next week. I do want to talk about that.
Yeah, write that one down. That's a good.
Please, seriously.
I've got my opinions on that one too.
I
But
do
Me too.
I do too.
yeah, I've got my opinions on that. I think that was. I think that was just brief. I think that was another Matt Serra GSP where
Yeah.
they was like they didn't think.
Feed it to the wolves.
Yeah, they didn't
See
think
what's
that
gonna
was.
happen.
They
They
didn't think
definitely
that was
didn't think that
happen.
was going to happen.
They did not think that was going to happen.
So
They didn't think that was
They
going to
want to
happen.
knock her back down.
She got the shit.
Now you guys want to hear something funny?
She was smart about it though. She just stopped it. She was like, "You are not going to pound me down. There's no point.
Yeah.
It's done."
You guys want to hear something funny?
You got about 5 minutes.
Call me Mystic Mike.
Do it.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't say Rose would beat her.
Oh shit!
I didn't say Rose would beat her. Okay.
Okay.
But 3 fights before, I said she would lose the belt in 3 fights.
You did say that.
I did say that, and I'll tell you why I said it. When she changed teams to American Top Team and she moved to the United States,
Changed everything.
I said that's it. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Ball game. You moved to
Interesting.
Coconut Creek, Florida, beaches, clubs, dancing, money, all that shit, and I could see it every
her
fight.
eyes.
It
Oh,
just
yeah.
she started getting hit more and more and more and more, and sure enough, kaboom.
Clap
Now,
chin.
I'll be honest, when they said Rose, I was a little bit suspect, but at the same time I thought, you know what? Rose might not just she might just say I don't give a fuck and just come forward and start banging, but
She's a mean-looking woman.
She's got
I
it.
like Rose.
I
Yeah.
love her.
I like her.
I love her.
I love her too.
I love that dead eye, dead face,
Dead eye.
dead eyes and dead face.
Which we have to talk about dead hen next time about Russia.
Okay.
So, as Brad stares in the camera, this has been Brad's Kitchen, episode 014 on a beautiful, I have to look at my watch every time, Wednesday, April 4th. If you on the live stream want to see the shenanigans after the live stream goes off, I'll leave it up for a little bit and
it won't.
let the podcast play
Please
out,
don't.
and I'll kill the microphone so you can't hear what we're saying.
Sweet.
After that, peace.